With the annuities.
What company?
Aegis Financial.
Aegis?
Aegis Financial. A-E-G-I-S Financial. Yep.
Thank you. Okay, thanks.
We have about 127 carriers that we choose from.
Show if you can silence your cell phone, we really appreciate that. So when you're talking, often you're not. If I could scoot you just a little more that way, you're fine, Jordan. You're fine. Just gonna.
What kind of commissions do they pay?
Also in the middle of.
Anywhere between 3% upwards of 7% on average.
Just so you're
But
aware,
the fees are below
during the
2%.
breaks, you guys will take your headphones off, be talking, and then all of a sudden,
Usually about
live
1%.
I want my financial planner to make a lot of money.
Okay, great.
Because I want to keep
Let me
him
know
in
if you need
business and I
anything.
want to keep him producing.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm serious. I don't know why the fuck people care about that. Jesus, it's almost like if somebody makes money, they're doing a bad thing.
That's right.
Yeah. No one ever questions the real estate business.
I want people making a lot of money. I want my doctor to
Well,
make a lot
where's
of money.
mine
I want
from last
everyone.
year then? I made you 90 grand.
Yeah.
What did I charge you? Hold on, I want to go back to your quote.
I'm not. I said my financial advisors.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Not the guy that made you 90 grand.
You're a friend. You're a.
I think every financial
He simply
advisor
mirrors his trade.
should charge what I charged you. How's that?
People get that way with everything, though. Mechanics.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
They don't want to make any money.
Oh, that's not true.
Oh, hell, it is.
I think they should share in the profit. If a financial guy makes you money, he should get a percentage of it.
We got it.
And the more he makes, the more he makes.
Some incentivized.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what shook up the industry was, who's the one that went to free trading first? They almost ran TD Ameritrade. TD Ameritrade changed their shit within a few days. They did, man, because they knew they saw the writing on the wall.
There's no way.
I already had a call, and I was about to move $2 million out of Ameritrade,
I think it was
and
Robinhood.
literally got a call within an hour.
I think Robinhood was right up there too. That was like one of the newest ones that kind of like the app Robinhood. It's free trades, free everything. You do what you want and really get people into doing it themselves, which I love. I mean, that's smart for some younger people or just anybody to put some money in there.
Yeah, that was very smart.
Any insulation is beneficial, but there's one kind of insulation that tops them all.
I don't think it was. Are you sure Schwab was at first? Okay. Who was the other one?
Old or new homes for retrofitting it
I think they were the first.
They have more. I think they're the largest. Hold on here.
existing insulation comes close. Most customers see utility
I'm not thinking of Schwab.
and you get added benefits like 80% soundproofing, freeze
Is that the camera you guys got? Is that the camera?
We got four. We got five.
No, that's
microphone.
Piece up all of them around you.
Got it.
I'm Chan Baker.
Nice to meet you.
Fidelity.
Jokey.
Fidelity.
Joe, good to meet you.
Yeah, so
Jordan.
Fidelity's got a shitload of
Hey, Michael.
compared to all of them.
I work for Tom.
Interesting. Fidelity.
That's the one that changed everything.
Gotcha.
Really? They went zero?
Zero. And they have more money than any of them. Or they have more, I don't even know
Well,
what you
didn't
call
they
it.
all follow suit though and go
They
to
had
zero?
to. Yeah.
I thought they did. Ameritrade?
Yep.
Did he violate Denver's pitbull ban? Should he be ticketed? Mike Bloomberg will either
Why do they do that? How do they make money?
Well, that's the funny part. Fidelity actually manages more money than self-directed, like Ameritrade. So Ameritrade, it really costs them a shitload, where Fidelity, it didn't cost them much at all. Yeah, exactly.
Hello, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. What we do is solve problems, answer questions, take complaints, and make your life a little easier, as we've been doing for 40 years. And you know what? We love what we do because it's a value even when we can't help you. We usually tell you why we can't help you, and it helps all the others who might be in the same boat, who haven't quite made the mistakes you did. So forgive me if I use you as a pawn. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. RealCBDThatWorks.com is Panacea Life Sciences in Golden. They have a wonderful lab in Golden, and they produce the purest of products with honest dosing. That's what's important. And you can get 20% off this month. Use the promo code Martino. I'm going to try to make that permanent, by the way. Martino, and you get 20% off. RealCBDThatWorks.com. RJ, I noticed that you held yesterday, so I wanted to get you right up and talk about this problem. What's going on?
So, about a month ago, I took my car to Meineke Highlands Ranch because they are a qualified ignition interlock.
Do you have one of those locks on your ignition, sir?
Yes, I do.
From a DUI?
Yes.
Okay. And did you have trouble with it?
Well, I was just having trouble with my engine. Wasn't sure if it was the interlock or if it was, some other component of the engine.
What was it doing?
So the engine would start after, passing the initial breath test, run for less than a second, and die.
Okay. And you weren't making any, there weren't any weight shifts or anything in the driver's seat?
Oh, no. No, and it happened multiple times over the course of a couple days. So I changed the battery, as a precautionary course.
Can I ask you something? I often wondered this. I want to ask something.
Okay.
What's to prevent you from having somebody blow in it? I'm just curious. I'm not suggesting people do that. What?
There's a camera that's always, pointed at the driver's seat. So they go back and review all pictures of during all blows to make sure that it's the person who is driving who is blowing.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I wondered about that, but they would have to audit that to see that you did not blow in it, right?
Yes, and they do.
Oh, okay. And I imagine you'd get in very big trouble to have somebody blow in that thing.
I can imagine. I don't know from personal experience, but they do, have talked. They can pull it all up on the computer.
Anyway, so what's going on right now? What can we do for you? What's happening? You took it to Meineke, and what happened?
Well, so we're just getting, one story to the next, day in, day out. So originally, took it to them on the 14th of last month.
Well, first of all, is it the interlock system or not?
It's not.
So then take it somewhere else.
That's my plan. I was planning on doing that.
When someone services your car, how do they bypass it?
We used to call up when we'd have them come in.
What, you call up and what?
We would call up the company, whoever actually installed it, and we would tell them we're working on it, whether it was just an oil change or whatever.
They let you blow in it then?
Well, we'd simply let them know that. No, we'd never blow in it. We'd keep the driver there to start the vehicle. We're not going to blow in it.
Yeah, but what do you do if you're keeping the vehicle for an extended time? I mean, is there a way to disable it for service?
No, someone's got to blow on it. Sometimes they have their own little thing to put a new one in
their
there.
Own mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Anyway, bottom line, RJ, if it's not the interlock, just take it somewhere else.
I mean, that was my plan, but I was not contacted with any kind of communication as to when they figured out what the issue was.
Okay, you said it was a month ago. Is your car still there?
Yes, it is.
Well, that's unacceptable.
I'm being threatened with. I was called this morning with a harassing threat of if I don't pay by the end of day.
Well, first of all, you didn't get to the part where they repaired something. What did they do? What work did they do?
So I was told yesterday that there was a ignition module that was replaced.
Okay.
So on the 11th, when we called to get the total price of what the lot fees and everything would be, we were quoted at $641. On the 17th, right, yesterday, called again. They say that their lot fees are $35 a day. That was 6 days after the fact that we were quoted $641. I was then quoted $991. That's a jump of $350 when it should be $210.
RJ, you're gonna run into a problem that a lot of people run into, and here's what it is: you're gonna argue with them. The fees are gonna go up. They're gonna repossess or put a lien on your car. They're going to sell it out from under you. Hold on. Let me explain how you handle it. Even though this doesn't feel good, the way you truly handle it is pay the damn fee and then take them to small claims court for what you think is unjustly charged, because you can win if they truly are arbitrarily charging you. First of all, why are they charging storage? Most mechanics don't charge storage unless you've left it there an inordinate amount of time. So when was it actually fixed?
It's still not fixed. It still doesn't run.
Okay, but they want you to pick it up. How do you pick it up if it doesn't run?
I'm going to get it towed out of there.
So tell me, RJ, what am I missing in this story? Because here's the story you want me to believe. You take it to Meineke. They never communicated with you, but they tell you you have to pay for work they did for which it did no good. And you have to pay for storage, but it doesn't run. So what am I missing? Because even the biggest moron in the world would not run a shop that way. Oh, RJ, come get your car. By the way, it doesn't run. We did nothing, but you have to pay.
This morning when he called me...
Just tell me what I'm missing. What would they say to justify it? Your story is they did nothing, they won't communicate, but they want to be paid for nothing. So you tell me, what will they say?
They had a third-party company come out and look and run a diagnostics check. Again, they knew about it, or apparently
They knew about what?
The Subaru guy came out 3 days before I contacted them and was finally told what the issue was.
Okay,
That's
listen.
when I asked them.
Listen.
Well,
did it need more than one thing?
Yes.
Because you said they replaced the ignition module, but it still doesn't run. So there's still a problem.
I was told yesterday.
So,
and I was told originally on the 28th when I contacted them.
Here's what I'm going to do. Would you just please call him, Chan? Here's a very simple question. What was wrong with the car? That's the first question. What was wrong with the car? When did you find it out? Did you fix it? Why are you charging storage? Get the real story, because I'm hearing stuff that I just can't put together. They got the car. They didn't know what was wrong. They finally found out what was wrong. They fixed something, but it wasn't the problem, and now they're charging for storage. So I'm gonna do something here that I often don't do. I'm gonna do it right now, because RJ's going to say he didn't have a chance to tell his story. So I promise you, I'm going to shut up right now. And RJ, I want you to help me, because Chan's going to call them right now to help you. Tell your story. I'm not going to ask any questions. I want to see if you make sense without me interrupting. Go ahead. Tell the entire story.
Okay, so, I'm going to stick to the facts here the best that I can. The 14th of January, took the car in, asked for a diagnosis. On the 16th, I called them, asked for an update, was told that they had to try and reprogram a key fob, or they were going down the different paths. Followed up again on the 17th to get basically the same answer. So I gave them some time. On the 28th, I felt it had been long enough that I wasn't bugging them and wasn't getting any kind of response back from them, so I called just to get an update. Was told that they had a Subaru consultant come out and run a diagnostics check, so basically work that they didn't even do, which at that time I was told that they found it needed an ignition module and a CPU unit.
Okay, is that it now? Is that it?
But the technician had been out 2 days prior to when I contacted them, and that they were sourcing pieces and already, started work. I asked them to stop all work at that time because,
why?
Because I'm supposed to be consulted, given a estimate and quote on, and give them written consent for work on the car. All I asked for was a diagnosis.
Okay, did they do any work beyond a diagnosis?
Well, and this is where it's getting confusing for me, is because I'm getting one story after another from, depending on who answers
Did they do any work?
Yes.
What did they do?
Apparently there was an ignition module replaced.
Then why is it not running?
Because it also needs a CP unit. And
you told them to stop work at that point?
I never asked for them to start work.
Well, you actually did by bringing it there. But you're right. They do have to get consent for spending a certain amount of money. So hold on. By the way, you told a good story, RJ. Let's go now. I understand. He's just upset because they did work without his consulting. I mean, I don't know what difference that would have made, but technically he's right. If they were going to spend more than $100, they had to get his consent. He said he gave no consent. Now they want to be paid. He doesn't want to pay. The reason it's not running is because they say it needs more work. But they won't do the additional work because he hasn't paid for what they've done. He didn't pay for what they've done because he said he didn't give consent. I'm Tom Martino. More coming up.
But was it towed in?
Huh?
Was it towed in?
He said he. Well, actually, I don't know that. Because he said no. Because he said it rode for a second.
Right.
Chan. Very quickly, ask him if it was towed in. If it's towed in, it doesn't alleviate them from the obligation to get his consent, but they don't have to give it to him in writing. It can be verbal. It was towed in. So that they don't have to do written, but they do have to get his consent even when it's towed in. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Something's different. Wait a minute. Maybe I'm wrong here.
It's the $100 thing is no longer there.
There's something different about being towed in, but I remember being surprised.
Just search it.
I remember thinking you couldn't do work, but then I think, hold on. Auto Repair Act, Colorado.
I'm consumer advocate Tom Martino. Most of our New Year's resolutions are already
Where am I? What do I have coming up here?
I read the spots running.
Let's see what I have coming up.
Oh, yeah.
So I have 2 spots here. When did you want me to do them?
Most, remember, some of yours are recorded and half and half are
From
live
Get
and
Found
recorded.
Fast?
Yeah, let's do it. Thank you. How you doing, man? You and I don't talk anymore.
I'm feeling like crap, and I don't know why.
It's because of Daphne. She got you sick.
APIs enabled. Go to credentials.
And she had it in Hawaii.
Web server.
And their team of experts. You can too. 844
Web server.
844
User
Larson
data.
Tax. Get your life back.
Gmail, web server, user data.
You look like you're losing weight.
Sorry, you're coming out
No,
of you, but
I'm not gaining. I'm not.
Good, yeah,
You
you
know,
look good.
I'm working out.
Tax Relief is the only tax relief and audit organization I endorse on my referral.
Get Found Fast. That's the name of the company we use for our website presence. They're going to do a complimentary website analysis. And I know you think you know everything if you're in business, especially if you have somebody doing that. We thought we knew everything. Have them analyze your website, the load times, the images, the presence, the search engine optimization. You know what we found? There are a lot of liars in this space. And these guys get real results. GetFoundFast.com.
Maybe we should get Sheridan on.
What's that?
Get Sheridan on? Sheridan?
What about it?
Get them on and stuff. They know everything about that.
Oh, the Auto Repair Act.
And
Ask Kevin or somebody who needs love about the Auto Repair Act. I'm looking it up, but we should get one of our experts.
Right here in the local area. This is Fan Merrill.
Colorado.
you might know about what the issue is, too.
My team and I are looking for a handful of people in the Denver
Here
area
it is.
who want to learn how to get started
You would
making
think I'd
money
know this by
flipping
now, for
houses
God's
in your
sakes.
spare time using other people's money. Denver is a perfect market for my system, and next week I'm holding a free 2-hour educational workshop where we'll share how to get started making money flipping houses and how to build long-term wealth with income properties. To get 2 free tickets to
Colorado
Merrill's
morning.
workshop, text your 5-digit zip code to
Unless there is a written consent. The written consent is waived by towing, but it doesn't say that the estimate is waived. Do you know what I'm saying? If the repair... Oh, I just want to know if he knows enough about the Auto Repair Act to be dangerous. We want to ask him about the consent he has to get and all that. If he doesn't feel comfortable, I don't want him. I want to only know if he really knows it, like if a car's towed in versus being brought in and stuff like that. There is a change to the original. Hold on here. A copy of that. I'm looking for the part here where it says towing. Towing fees. Let's see. Towing. Shit, it doesn't address it here.
My portfolio's
Let me look.
diversified. My 401k's maxed.
Well, you might have some as far as what when he works on those units and stuff.
Who?
I'm earning way more
Home.
now.
When you work on those units, those blow units and stuff. Those are issues. I mean, let me tell you, they're not.
Denver trial.
Line savings account.
10 away.
Short, right?
Earn much more interest than with the largest banks. Sign up at Marcus.com.
Comparison made to the 3 largest U.S. banks measured by total deposits. Rates as of January 21st, 2020 may vary by state. Goldman Sachs Bank USA member.
You're listening to this show for information, and one of the biggest problems people have is they get an injury, and it's not a normal one. Let's say someone assaulted them, or it was sexual assault, or let's say a product exploded in their face, or something happened, and then everyone gives them advice. Everyone says, this is what you do, that's what you do, and most of the time the advice is wrong. Here's the great news. DenverTrialLawyers.com. These guys have handled weird cases. They've handled big cases, extraordinary injuries, and they've recovered millions. DenverTrialLawyers.com. Free information.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Morning flurries dissipating for partly sunny skies. The high today 36. Tonight down to 16. Tomorrow's high 29 with more snow showers developing tomorrow night. I'm meteorologist Brooks Garner, Fox 31, Pinpoint Weather.
Do it right to save 5% every day by shopping at Lowe's in-store or online.
You know, that guy actually was not so disjointed once I let him talk. He did the 14th, the 16th, the 17th, the 28th. But here's the deal.
He's been in there for a while.
Is he just pissed, or is he... See, sometimes people are just pissed and they get somebody on a technicality.
He told him to stop everything. It's been in there over 2 weeks since he told him to stop.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. A note on the Auto Repair Act. RJ is technically correct in that you have to get approval. Now, even if something is towed in, I believe they have to get your consent, but they don't have to do it in writing if it's towed in. But here's the other thing that people need to know. If you take a car in and they don't get your consent and do work, it doesn't mean you don't owe for the work if you needed it. I know that sounds crazy, but there's something called quantum merit, which means you get the value, you pay the money. And this is a weird scenario when you didn't approve it. The question would be, would you have approved it? Or would someone else say you need the same thing? It gets down to a technicality. So I want to ask RG. RG, if you truly needed that ignition thing, for argument's sake, would you have turned it down if they had called to get your approval? How? In other words, I agree that you have them on a technicality. Here's what I'm asking you. Had they called and said, you need an ignition module and a CPU, would you have said, forget it, I'm going to just basically...
No, I would have been much more willing to possibly work with them.
But here's what I want to know. What would be different? Would you... Because what if the price is not negotiable? Would you have said, don't do the work, and would you have taken it somewhere else?
Quite possibly, because I only went to them to figure out the interlock, and because they were an interlock approved installer.
You know, I don't think people make it really clear when they drop it off. Deputy Chan, Slim, did you call him? Did he call him?
He's talking to them now.
He's talking to him now. Okay. I want to know, he had it towed in. Did they call and get any approvals? He's claiming they didn't. Okay. We have some guests here today, and I'm just going, it's Joe. He's been around a long time. I've known him for years. He advises our listeners on a lot of stuff. And the main thing he does is to become the banker concept, which I don't care what you say, it's a solid concept. You're not in business 40 years unless you have a solid concept. That's just a very simple concept. Overfunding life insurance because it gives you tax-free growth. And then if you learn to manipulate it properly through loans, policy loans, you actually draw it out tax-free. It's a cool tool, okay? And I say to people, it's not the only tool, but sometimes it's the only tool they can get started with because it doesn't take a lot of money. I don't want to spend a lot of time on that because one of the tools he also uses is annuities. And Mark and I were talking about this. I am not a know-it-all with annuities. In fact, I am very confused when it comes to all financial products in general, because they are confusing. If you just sit down and read any financial plan, they're confusing. That's why you depend on people to explain to you what they are. The problem is you have to decide, are people explaining things to you in an objective way for your best interest, or are they steering you toward products for them because they make a lot of money? I don't mind people making money, by the way, if I make money. But I've always wondered this about cars, about insurance, about investments, about anything, even advertising. When people push advertising, what are they pushing? Something that's good for your business or something good for them. So every business has this cloud of doubt over it. But when it comes to annuities, I'm very confused. And I told somebody the other day, why would you get an annuity inside a qualified plan? Because you already have tax benefits. Why do you want double tax benefits? Blah, blah, blah. To make a long story short, Joe, of course, sells annuities, so he's going to tell me annuities are good, or at least some of them are. And then there are plenty of people that say annuities are bad. Now, I don't think they're either good or bad. I think they're whatever they are. We have to decide. I am confused. So he brought an expert in who says he's an expert. He works for Aegis. Now, there are about as many annuities as there are soups. You can get all kinds of brands and all kinds of soup. You can get all kinds of annuities. But here's the one thing that has always confused me. If I have a bucket and there's 100,000 balls in that bucket, and I've collected these balls for years, and I give them to somebody, and if they say, Tom, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to give you one ball a year for the rest of your life. And I never get to get all my 100 balls. I don't think that's such a good thing. But then they say, but wait a minute. That 100 balls, you may not get all of them, but your estate will. But what you get is a guarantee of getting one ball per year or per month. What I'm getting at is we make an investment in an annuity, and in a perfect world, that annuity comes back to us in income. That's what I think we do it for. And I'm going to ask these guys, they'll have plenty of time. But here's something somebody told me the other day. They had an annuity that made them, I think it was 25%. So let's just take this for grins. Let's say they had $1 million in there, and it grew to $1,250,000. Okay? What good is that if they will never, ever, 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 ever get it with their yearly income? If the annuity pays them a yearly income, what good is a 25% return or a 50% return or any return if they don't even get their principal back during their lifetime? This is one thing I want people to explain to me. Why would I give $100,000, $500,000, $1 million to a company to give it back to me? Why would I do it? That's what I want to know. It's that simple. I want to know it. There have to be other benefits, right? So I want to know what those benefits are. And we're going to talk about that. That's how basic I want to be. I want to be that basic. Because I can take my own 100,000, 500,000, million and put it in a bank and draw it out every year. So why do I need them to do it for me? And what good is a return if I don't get the money ultimately? But maybe I do. These are the questions I think everyone should ask. With any investment, like become the banker. You put money in. Do I ever get that money back? Well, sure you do. You can take it out in loans. Someone asked me, but what happens if you leave money in there? Your estate gets it by means of a death benefit. So you never really leave money on the table, do you, Joe? Is there any scenario, I'm not talking annuities now, but with become the banker, is there any scenario where I don't or my estate doesn't get 100% of the money back?
Not one.
Not one.
Not one.
That was one criticism somebody told me. They say, Tom, if you overfund your policy and you build up a $500,000 cash value and you only borrowed against it $200,000, you theoretically have $300,000 in cash value. Now, what I want to know is the policy loans come off the death benefit, right?
If they're not paid back, yes.
Right. Well, that's the idea,
yes.
Not to pay tax.
Right.
So but then after that, is there always enough money left in the policy where your estate gets all of the money you put in it?
Tom, by law,
always.
By law, it has to be. It has to be, to keep the policy tax-free, that death benefit has to be higher than the cash value.
So the death benefit grows.
Grows every year with that increase in your premiums.
Okay, so there's no scenario where I invest money and not get it back.
You got it.
Oh, I mean, either me or my estate.
Or your beneficiaries, right.
Okay. More coming now that's become the banker. Let's talk about how annuities work. But I'm going to warn my experts, if they get any more complicated than I can understand, I'm going to ask questions. I'm not going to let them continue, right? So if you ever wanted to know about annuities, honest to God, without complication, you're going to listen. I want to make it so dumb.
You bet. I like it. Yeah, there's no scenario, Tom. Become the banker, you'll be 100%. It's the best.
There's no scenario where cash in will never come out.
See, the IRS regulates that.
So then the insurance company, because the death benefit, right, they're investing your money, and you never get all that they invest, right?
Right. You're going to get a portion.
I get it. Everyone can understand
He's in
that.
over his head, getting his car fixed.
So what did they say? By the way, I don't talk during the breaks on purpose. Let me tell you why. If you tell me something, here's what happened, and then we're on the air, you could say, well, as I said, or without even knowing it, you do that. So I never talk about our topic off the air. Go ahead.
RJ, the manager at Monty, communicated with this guy the whole time. 17 days ago, they were told they were coming to get the car. Reggie said if you don't come, the next day there will be storage fees.
Okay, so what happened, though? Why did they do repair without his knowledge?
Reggie said he's got verbal consent on everything they've done.
Okay, and then it was done and he didn't get it. So they only charged fees for after they told him to come get it.
17 days
But he
ago.
said it's not running right now.
It's still not running.
Well, then how can he come and get it?
Well, I guess he needs to have it towed to a different
Okay,
mechanic.
but what I don't understand is, he got verbal consent for everything. Apparently not. He didn't get verbal consent.
Oh, yeah, exactly. On the CPU unit.
Why won't he give him verbal consent for that?
He doesn't have the money. $3,000.
But how? Well, why? Okay. The ignition was how much?
The ignition module, it was a crank position sensor is what they replaced.
Okay, I get you.
And all the diagnostics were.
Well, here's what I want to know though. At the time they did the ignition sensor, did he tell him he needed a CPU at the same time?
He did.
Now, so this guy said, yeah, go ahead and fix the ignition, but I'm not going to do the CPU.
That's right.
That doesn't make sense to me. I don't think. Do you think that a guy would say that? Why would he? When he knows he wouldn't be able to drive his car away.
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that what the repair shop said?
Yeah, that's exactly what he said.
Can you ask him, you mean that the guy knew he needed both things, but only authorized
Yeah, that's
one?
what I asked him. I said, how come, knowing it wouldn't run, he authorized one but not the other one? Reggie kind of stumbled, and then he said, oh, I need to have my media relations people call you back.
I think he's full of shit.
Yeah, they're trying to get, and the other thing he said is they're preparing to put a lien on the guy's car.
Well, of course they will.
Yeah.
There's a problem here. But I think it's bullshit that it doesn't make sense to me. They would give verbal consent. Here's what happened. They fixed the crate. They fixed the ignition thing, and he found out and got pissed and says, don't do any more work.
Yeah, I think so too.
That does sound more logical to me.
Sounds more,
I mean, the consumer sounds like he's telling the truth.
Yeah.
Did he sound hesitant, the mechanic?
Yeah, Reggie, he got a little bit defensive with me. I mean,
yeah.
But he won't come on the air.
Regulated by DORA, NMLS 136756.
The problem is he's $1,000 to get his car back. It's kind
Will
of
he waive any of the storage?
No. I asked him. He said, no, it's not our policy. He said, we're not a storage lot. We're a car fixing lot.
But from what I was reading, you have to get consent to also pay a storage fee, right? Don't you have to get consent to pay a storage fee as well?
That's what I asked him. He goes, no, it's already, we gave him verbal warning that he would get
I mean, if they tell him.
Yeah.
SentryRV.com. We love Sentry, not just because they have great prices, but they have a service department. So many people buy RVs, don't know where to get them serviced. Mark's had his serviced at Sentry RV. He bought his at Sentry RV. He could have gone anywhere. But you know what? A lot of people come here. They're in our backyard. They find them on the internet and come here. They're either in Lakewood or up north on exit 240, the 119 turnoff to Longmont. That is SentryRV.com, 303-453-1111.
1 in 3 retirees will return to work. Seriously?
I don't know why I don't.
I don't know about Meineke in general. Do we have a good...
We don't have good or bad.
Okay.
They're not terrible.
Oh,
They're just franchise, man, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not company.
The Colorado Motor Vehicle Act says that it has to be in writing.
What, the storage?
Yeah, for storage.
Up front?
Oh, really? Okay.
Not if you tow it in. Find out about towing.
Towing. I couldn't find anything about the towing on here.
Towing just throws a wrench into it.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't know why. God dang it.
There can't be any fees for Saturdays and Sundays, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what is it? There's nothing there, though, about...
I can't see anything stored or towed yet.
But you said they do have to be disclosed.
Says if a repair facility charges storage fees, customers must sign a separate written agreement, and there's no maximum allowable charge. Yet the customer must sign and agree to the amount in writing for the fee.
Okay, good.
And it can't be done until the 4th day after the customer is told that the repairs have been completed.
Oh, I'm doing really good. Let me change positions right quick, bud.
That's not them, right?
It's them, yeah.
Okay. The mechanic?
Media relations.
Talk to him. Yeah. I want to know, it doesn't make sense he would agree to one, knowing there's another $3,000 to make his car run. It just doesn't make sense.
Call 720-895-0500 now or go to AImortgage.net/events. Seats are limited. February 27th, 6:30 p.m. Dinner provided. Find out how to increase your tax-free retirement. Join us at Lamar Street Center. Take a step back in time when paying off your house didn't cost so much. Take AIM, 720-895-0500.
Is that Kurt Rogers doing that? Did you just hear? Is he doing Become the Banker?
Yeah, we're doing an event with him on the 27th. We're going to do... we're gonna
I like Kurt.
I do too.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank Duran is there to help you in this crazy market. It is such a great market, but that means you can make a very big mistake in a good market because that's when you really need to evaluate offers to get the most money. Frank has stats that show he gets more money and sells quicker than others. 303-920-1622. Plus, he's one of the finest people you'll know. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. All right, listen. We are on with Meineke. And RJ, I just want to tell you something. RJ, I want to say off the bat, your story makes more sense than their story. So, are you there?
Absolutely.
Hang on. We're still on with them. Donna's got an HOA problem. Donna, I will get started on this, and then I want to talk about annuities. Go ahead, Donna.
Good morning, Tom.
What's happening?
Okay, so I've lived here for 2 years. My first year I lived here, the gutters were leaking, not over the edge, but through the seams.
Now, do you own? Do you own, Donna?
I do own.
Okay,
correct.
And the gutters were leaking.
Correct.
Okay.
So I went to the HOA meeting, told them about it. Absolutely nothing was done. So this year, naturally, the seams are even worse. So the gutters were leaking worse, and it's not only leaking down onto the cement, it's going onto my screen, it's going inside my door.
More damage,
okay.
Right. So now
More
what?
damage. So I took pictures, sent it to the president of the HOA and to the management company, and they came back with, we can't do anything about it. It is ice damming. You need to go to Home Depot and buy heat tape.
Well, it depends on whose responsibility that is. If it is ice damming, it could be a unit by unit. Is it a condo or a townhome or an individual home? What are we talking about?
A condo.
How the hell well, are you on the top floor?
No. It's called a condo, but they're all in a row. There's no.
We call those like a row house, a townhouse.
Correct.
You all have your own entrance.
Correct.
And you're connected, but you're connected on each side.
Correct.
Okay, that's kind of true. Many times it's true. In townhomes, you have responsibility for your own gutters, and roof. Sometimes you don't. I really don't know unless you look at your bylaws and your covenants. If your roof is destroyed, who replaces it? You or the HOA?
The HOA, and they replaced it 3 years ago.
Okay, hold on.
Okay, sorry.
So they're responsible for your roof, you're telling me. What if the gutters go bad? Who's responsible for that?
They are. They replaced them that year.
Okay,
also.
it sounds to me like they should be the ones taking care of ice damming if they take care of the roof and the gutters. But they're saying that you have to take care of that. And so, really, it's hard to say. It really is, Donna. It's hard to say. I mean, it really is. I don't know. I mean, we'd have to look deeper into your covenants or bylaws. One thing I do know, the HOA can set the standard for whatever they want. It sounds logical that if they take care of the roof and the gutters, who takes care of exterior painting and stuff?
They did.
Then it seems to me they should take care of the ice damming. Here's what I want you to do. We have to take it one step at a time. Don't be confrontational with them. Here's what you say. Look, guys, if I am truly responsible for the ice damming, I want to get it fixed. But it sounds weird since you guys are responsible for all outside maintenance. So I need to know, please help me. Show me in the homeowner's documents where homeowners are responsible for this. Just ask them. Ask them to show you. And if they can't show you, then, unfortunately, you're going to have to fight them. And it's not easy fighting an HOA because you're fighting them with your money. But wait a minute. Please ask them first, because sometimes when you do this, they may turn around and say, you know something, we really don't have this. Ask the management company or ask them for a legal opinion. Tell them you simply want to see the part of the documentation that makes this your responsibility. Just do it. What were you going to say?
Now, the management company did tell Donna that they did not want them cleaning out their gutters for leaves.
Well, that's ridiculous.
Right.
They can't, listen, they can't throw everything on themselves except that. So, Donna, please ask him that. And if you're having a tough time getting information, we will call them. Because it sounds to me like you're getting the shuffle. We're also on with Meineke. I want to know, okay, so if we talk about annuities. In general, I ask, with Become the Banker, is there a scenario where you can put money in and not get it out? You said there is no scenario where that can happen.
That is correct.
That's where you overfund a life insurance policy, build cash value, you take it out in policy loans or in death benefit. With annuities, is there a scenario where you invest money and you or your estate will not get 100% back?
Yes, there are.
There are scenarios like where you will not get all your money back. Can you give me those kinds of worst-case scenarios?
Those worst-case scenarios come in.
And I really appreciate your honesty. Just put that mic close to you. Go ahead.
Yes. So
give me one example.
The one example is a variable annuity.
Okay.
That is a registered security contract sold by a financial planning firm.
Okay.
Become the Banker does not sell these types of annuities.
No, then
because of the risk.
That's what I'm asking. I am asking, in the annuity market, though. There are annuities you can possibly invest in that you will not get all your money back.
That's correct.
How do they work, those kinds? How do they work?
Those kinds are tied directly to sub-accounts invested directly in stock markets, mutual funds.
Oh, so do you put a lump sum in or a monthly, or how do you contribute?
Lump sum.
A lump sum. So I put in, let's say, $500,000 into an annuity. Now, people, I just take a figure. That might be ridiculously high. Let's say $100,000, but let's just say I put $500,000 in. It's invested, right? And it earns money, right?
In a variable annuity, yes.
Okay. What could happen then where I don't get all my money?
The market could lose 20, 30% in that annuity contract.
And I could lose my principal.
Correct.
Okay.
In a variable annuity.
In a variable annuity.
Yes.
Also, what benefits are to variable annuities?
Larger upside potential.
Okay. It's not limited to how much you can make.
Correct.
And what about income?
It does offer, in some scenarios, a lifetime income stream, but
in
very
some
few.
scenarios. Very rarely.
Yes.
What's the main reason then people do a variable annuity?
It's a product that's pushed by their financial planner.
So you're saying that's the kind that gives a bad name to other annuities.
That's correct. It's got high fees that aren't typically disclosed up front by the financial planner. And there's market risk that the client isn't aware of.
Then why do people do them other than being talked into it? There must be some redeeming quality, no?
The attractiveness of the potential upside gains.
Okay, and is that money committed for life, that $500, or can I draw it all back out and put it in something else?
It would have a surrender charge schedule, meaning that it's a 7,
like
10,
a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Correct.
And at the end of the surrender, then I can just use it as a regular investment account?
Correct. Now keep in mind that annuity contracts typically will have 2 buckets of money, the income benefit amount and then the account value, which is the contract walked away dollar amount.
Which is always less
than the income amount, yes.
Oh, wow. So what good is the income amount? Can you draw monthly payments?
That's for the lifetime guaranteed income stream.
All right. So we did find out there are some annuities that are not so attractive. Variable annuities.
Correct.
But there will be some financial planners arguing that because they like selling them because they pay high fees.
Correct. And they get commissions and fees based on those.
We have more coming up.
You busted it? Busted it wide open?
I busted it wide open.
Are you finding out stuff?
Yeah. I talked to the operations manager who controls a series of stores in the area.
Mark.
No, his name is Terry.
I want to do mine first so I can get out of here to the restroom.
I don't think you can move him.
You can move him within a break. You can move him within a break. He doesn't want to move him by hours. Okay, we got it.
Can you just use the trash can behind you?
No, I'm going to do it. Just tell me, K&H.
Right now, cloudy and 26. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Pete Wagner on 630 K-How.
Time's running out to win $5,000 a week forever.
I can't tell you how many Gatorade bottles I've filled up.
For your life, plus after that, $5,000 life or someone you choose. Enter at PCH.com now. Entrance fee $225. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
K&H Home Solutions has a very interesting sale going on. They want to encourage you to come to the Home and Garden Show and see their booth for an extra kicker. Let me explain it. You can get 30% off right now this month on windows, siding, and doors. And they have, in my opinion, the best siding on the market. I mean, it's incredible. Color through and through, wood-like texture, a lifetime of durability. You can't destroy this stuff. It's called Everlast. No matter who sells it, I like that siding. It's the best. But K&H has expert installers, and they stand behind all their products. They also have windows and doors. So 30% off, right? All you have to do is go to khwindows.com, make your own appointment. But if you go to the home show and visit them at the home show, booth 313 and 1275, if you want to remember that. Just go see them there. You get an extra 10% because it's easier to sign you up there. That's 40% off windows, siding, doors. Either way, you get extraordinary products from an extraordinary company. One that I've used on my homes. khwindows.com.
Are you a woman concerned about retirement? I am Linda Gardner.
Right.
Hello, Linda Gardner.
We'll give you the phone tomorrow. Right tonight. We have that phone call again. I think I have an appointment.
I got it.
Your schedule, right? Yeah, because
Here's
It's already a sale.
right, yeah.
secret.
Good. And that going on just running still, so I just wanted to yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, thank God I used to do something with this stuff, or else I don't know how anybody would figure this shit out.
So do they really need it? I mean, it auto renews in May, so I mean, do I need to?
Let me follow up with them and let them know. Typically, they're just so proactive that they want an updated.
Okay.
Since it's on auto renew, I was just like,
I think we went through this last year too, and I think
we typically we deal with it in the market carriers.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we'll be fine.
Perfect. Okay.
So another thing I'm working on too, Joe. I was going to ask you. Remind me again, who's your back office contact?
Randy.
Oh
no, F&G?
Yeah.
Oh man.
The case manager
Still
is
not
actually
properly
either
configured. That's crazy.
Elaine Kramer or Dave Thomas.
That's where iHeartMedia comes in. Every week, our radio stations reach 90% of the U.S.
Is what I'm doing for you is
Share.
Who's the good guy?
I'm working on getting.
Right now, Perry, the operations
platform.
manager,
So typically,
he's
you
willing to waive all the
last year
storage
$3
fees.
million
You'll even
Hold on,
come
guys.
down
Actually
the
put you
price.
on the elite. Gotcha.
All right, check this out.
And
How
so
about
I'll get you
a
added to
complete
that.
sewer line
That's
replacement
the same case
for
numbers
about
and
half the
quicker.
price everybody else charges? That's right, Master Router. I saw one estimate come in. It was $18,000. You know what Master Router came in at? $11,000. These guys have 24/7 emergency service, and they're great plumbers. 720-434-3406. 720-434-3406.
Boom.
What if you could easily pay off your mortgage and access tax-free cash without repaying a loan?
That's good.
Yeah, and they told the kid that it's a. They had a guy from Subaru come look at
What
it.
car is a Subaru? What year?
2010 Legacy, their sedan model.
Just have to keep up with property tax.
They had a guy from Subaru come look at it. They diagnosed it is the computer that's not allowing the car to run. It's a dealer part. You can get it done, but mind if you won't do it.
They're not saying that they could have screwed it up at all.
No.
So it came in there, and right off the bat, it needed the CPU and that ignition thing.
Was a crank position sensor was their first.
What is that?
It's a little sensor on the back of the motor that counts the revolutions of the crank.
Yeah,
Make sure you're
yeah.
not.
So once you'll still send it to Jen, and then that just
Over-revving
makes
the
it easier
motor.
for Jen,
The
honestly.
problem is when that goes out, it won't have to turn it off.
That makes perfect sense, yeah. Okay, well then, I'll send it to her today and she'll tell her. Figure some part out.
Oh, here it is.
Did you run some numbers for me personally?
We got them right here.
On half?
$500,000. Yeah.
We got those right there.
No, that's right here. Yeah, I got the you did illustrations right there.
Authorized redirect. Okay, set.
Call now to find out how the USA Reading Clinic can skyrocket your child's reading ability and grades quickly and easily. Based on brain science,
You're right. You know, it could be very confusing, to the consumers as well. There's so many annuities, so many companies. Tom, and you were asking me if there's an annuity that you can actually take money out day one. Well, there is. It's called an immediate annuity. You can put your $500,000 there, and you can begin drawing an income day one. You don't have to wait a year or 2 or 10 years. You can start taking your money 30 days after you get it.
Months long, yes.
There's no. Well, I'll wait. I want to ask on here. Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. Okay, we have lines open. Donna, we're going to put off until we hear from her. She's going to ask the HOA to document why she's responsible for that maintenance. Deputy Slim, you called Meineke. Their story sounded suspect. They're saying, and more, but by the way, more on annuities. We are going to get to each and every one. Here's what you said, RJ. You said you took your car in. You wanted an estimate. It was towed in. The 14th, you took it in for a diagnosis. You called on the 16th for an update. The 17th for an update. All of a sudden, you found out they did the ignition module, and it still needed a CPU. And you said, wait. I never told you to do anything, so don't do the don't do the CPU. And they said, well, okay, come get it and pay for the ignition module. They're claiming they got your permission to do the ignition module. And they have a not a recording, but the recorded consent that you gave verbally. But here's what doesn't make sense to me, RJ. They claim you gave consent for the ignition module, but not for the CPU. That doesn't make sense. Why would anyone do that knowing that their car would not run?
Maybe they found the ignition module first and then called back.
No, they're claiming.
Well, I got the correct story from the operations manager.
What do they claim?
Their initial diagnosis came back as a crank position sensor.
Okay, and did they only ask about that approval?
They did. At that point in time, all they wanted to do was the crank position sensor.
And he agreed to it.
According to Perry, RJ agreed to that charge of $160.
Okay. Do you remember agreeing to the $160?
quotes on any kind of dollar
So,
amount.
RJ, you did not agree to the $160.
I wasn't given any kind of dollar amount. If something like
Did
that.
you
came
agree
up,
to the position sensor?
I not that I recall. No.
Okay. So then they say you did, but then what?
Then they brought in a specialist from Subaru who diagnosed for them that it was the CPU on the car.
So it wasn't the sensor.
It wasn't the sensor. It wasn't.
So
the
were they going to
crank
refund the money for the sensor?
He's willing to work with him on that.
But
what I negotiated with Perry, who's the operations manager, they want this car off their lot as much as RJ wants his car back.
Yeah, but it needs a CPU.
Right.
Here's the thing, RJ. If they admit it did not need a sensor and it needs a CPU, according to Subaru, and they don't want to charge you for the ignition sensor, they're just going to charge you for the computer, you still don't want the computer because that's a $3,000 job, right?
I don't want them. I don't want the unprofessionalism that has been shown. From
RJ, I'm trying to get a straight answer from you. Here's what I'm asking. Are you going to invest $3,000 to get your car fixed if Subaru says it needs a CPU? That's a yes or a no. I don't care where you do it. Are you willing to invest that much money?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
But you don't want to spend it there. Is that right?
Absolutely not.
Okay, then you should, hold on, then you should go get it. You should go get it, and you should pay for storage. I don't think they should charge you for the ignition thing.
They're going to work with them on that, and they're also willing to waive all the
You hear
storage
a lot of
fees.
celebrity endorsements in town telling you who you should call.
Go talk to them off the air. If they're willing to, here's what I want to know. If they didn't need a position sensor, and they're willing to waive the fees, that's only if he has a CPU.
You should have a
done,
G
right?
code in your text. I need it real quick.
So he can come and get it without paying anything.
He's got to pay for the diagnostic charge, which he agreed to.
Which is how much?
$400, and then they'll let him have the damn car.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is good.
It should have come. Go ahead.
It's totally good, but he won't pay the $400 because
No, he don't want to pay anything. He doesn't want.
Hold on, make sure it's
right.
Yeah, no, he's a little upside down in his thinking.
We'll come back to him one more time. Tell him one more time. We found out we didn't get a chance to get it all out. What he found out. So that $400 diagnostic fee. Did they get a verbal on that?
They did.
He's going to deny that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I like how they broke all this down.
Well, yeah, this is because they have a ton of products, so I just printed out the one page of hyper sheet because it
Makes sense.
confusing.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense.
And then those are the payout factors that I'm giving you.
I
So a lot of carriers don't disclose that.
Yeah, I like that. Okay, bye. Brian. Later. Bye. I'll call you back. Bye.
That one gives them 8% bonus. So if you do the income rider on it, it gives a 1% bonus plus then the 7. So it's
Jesus, this is crazy. Okay, email test. Will it work or won't it work? Yeah, send email. Okay, let's try sending one to me.
So Tom, have you ever looked into those paramotored things?
Not for me though.
No.
I have friends do it.
I was just curious looking into it, and it kind of, it's like $10,000 maybe, like get fully suited up.
I don't think you can get hurt.
What are they?
Do it right.
Like paragliding with the motor on behind you,
Oh, jeez. I don't.
Fun things.
Oh.
People do some pretty crazy things on it. I was watching YouTube.
Why wouldn't you just do gliding with the chute?
Because you could take off anywhere. You can just take off the ground and get up. And they go pretty high. The crazy thing is they don't need a pilot's license. They don't need a lot of things you would expect them to need.
Yeah, but nowadays with the sport pilot airplanes, they're cheap enough, and you can learn how to fly. Why don't you just do
Shout
sport
Subaru wants to buy my Honda.
They're just wonderful little planes.
My
They're
Honda.
real airplanes.
Yeah. Well, we still got to go up. Let me know when
They just call them sport planes because they're under a certain horsepower.
Right.
And they're a 2-seater. And they're just really inexpensive. You can get a brand new, not that you would, but you could get a brand new sport plane, decked out, for $200,000.
Oh, that's not bad.
Or less.
That's pretty for.
And it's beautiful. It's a beautiful little plane. That's brand new. Nobody
That's
uses
right.
it. You can get an excellent equipped plane with a few hours on it for 60 grand.
Oh my God.
Our sport plane with a glass cockpit.
Right.
Wow.
That's pretty amazing.
A little
That is
sport
nice.
plane.
God, that would be nice, wouldn't it?
They're cute. They
Yeah.
really are cute.
That'd be fun, yeah.
And
Kind of horsepower they have.
why bother with a paraglider when you can have just a little
Yeah, right,
airplane?
go-
And they have a
go
parachute
outside,
on
yeah.
it.
Oh, they have a parachute too?
That's
So you can just press the
autopilot,
button?
parachute, glass cockpit. I swear to God, that
Really
plane
equipped, yeah.
20 years ago would have been 400 grand.
I'd
Wow.
say,
Wow.
that's what most of the planes have now.
Aviation went through a metamorphosis because of all the liability. They said there's got to be something for people that just want to fly.
Right, right.
And they came up with a category called sport plane.
That's cool.
What they said was, instead of being FAA regulated, it's FAA regulated, kind of, but it's called ASTM standards, which is the American Society. It's some kind of scientists, what engineers. It's ASTM. It stands. What does ASTM stand for? American Society something.
Yeah.
And what it is those standards were set so they allow. They say it's a lesser standard than the FAA, but it really isn't. The planes are wonderful.
That's pretty cool. I mean, that's a good price, though. I mean, I didn't expect it to be that much
And
price.
you can rent them cheap. Now, they have a sport license, which I don't recommend. I would just get a regular license. They're easy to get.
Right, at that point, might as well.
But the sport planes don't require all the same amount level of maintenance.
Yeah, do most planes carry the top parachute? Because I think, I mean, that's what I was.
No.
I really like that.
No,
that
very
Sirius-
expensive plane like Cirrus
Yeah,
does.
Sirius is what I was looking at.
But
Those are pretty
sport
cool.
planes, not all of them do, but a lot of them do. So
that's pretty neat. It's just that added factor of, you know, just in case.
$60,000 for a sport plane. That's so
But yeah,
expensive.
I know. I was like, that's.
I'm going to show you.
Because those
I
Sirius
wish I
planes
could
are like,
find mine.
those are
I
like
can't
7,000,
find.
8,000, like the Sirius planes.
I have. I don't know why. I don't have any pictures of my little sport plane.
Let's start off with the good news. Just got
I bought a little sport plane for my kid, for my stepson and my other son to learn, and my biological son.
Yeah.
I don't know why we use those terms, but anyway, I use it for my sons to fly. And let me just see if I can show it to you. I don't have any pictures of mine, but I'll show you one just like it. And I bought this one with only 30 hours on it. And it was 95. It was 200,000 new. I'm going to show it to you.
That's incredible. Under 100,000.
Well, let me just show it to you though, because you really don't get. Let me
ask
just
Jay.
see the gallery if I can. Is there a gallery here? Because they're so cool. They're just. Here's the.
Yeah, I like that.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Now
That's
look
nice
at.
plane,
Yeah. Now let me show you the cockpit. It's so amazing.
That's
Look at this
really
cockpit.
Oh my gosh,
Look
look
at
at
that.
that.
I expected it to look like a glider almost for 90, but that's really cool.
No, I mean it's got.
He's always shy. When we
It's got
play
parachute,
racquetball,
and
he's always like,
it goes 130 miles an hour.
oh,
I get you high enough
damn,
anywhere you want.
I wish I could show you.
damn,
It's
bam,
TLS.
damn, in my face.
I'll go to
That's pretty
images.
Cool. Is it
Mark,
two-seater?
it's a little airplane. Look at them. It's a little
yeah,
stubby
actually,
looking.
both
You
are.
got to get used to it. But I love these little.
Oh, dude, I
planes.
was looking. I had
Now they
nothing to
make
do with
cooler
anything
looking
but,
light sports.
Right,
This one is actually
Walmart,
the best performing. I bought it for
75% of its store
performance.
managers and higher. 75%.
That's pretty slick, though. They're
started
cool
as
little
hourly
planes, man.
employees. So
Now,
that.
I have
like
the double
glass.
glass. I have the double glass.
Why
like
wouldn't
that,
you
yeah.
want
And I have
something
leather.
to top?
No, mine doesn't have
store
leather. I'm sorry, I
manager's
don't have the
$1.80
leather.
average.
Yeah.
Dang,
Why wouldn't you want?
But I bought mine with 30 hours on it.
You would.
For
I mean, that's how
95
you learn
grand.
a store.
That's impressive. Man, that's only.
Look at it. Here's what mine looks like.
Look at the grocery
Look at
weekend.
these.
Yeah,
seriously.
Look at these cockpit pictures.
How long
Look at that.
Look at that.
So what is like a standard hour that you'd see on like planes that are get to their short end of life? Like is it like 1,000 hours?
These planes 2,000 hours before they need any major overhaul.
Okay.
2,000 hours is a lot of time. Well, right now I got two. Now we have 200 on it.
But 200 still, that's a long.
Of course, a lot of that.
But
Thank you for showing me that.
That'd be nice.
I'll show you mine.
What's the range on that? No, not really. You're
Probably
red
longer than you can go. Like
eating
4
a biscuit,
4 hours
some
at
ice cream.
at 100 and something miles an hour. So 500 miles?
Yeah.
Hi, Tom Martino. You are a troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. 713-8255. All right, listen. As you know, we solve problems, answer questions, take complaints. We make life easy. We make referrals. Referralist.com is a prime example of what we do. Referralist.com. You can find us on Facebook and YouTube, our streams, as well as referralist.com. And that's where you find Panacea Life Sciences, realcbdthatworks.com. Realcbdthatworks.com. That's the CBD product that we endorse and we believe in because I use it for anti-inflammatory, pain, anxiety, and it helps for sleep. I use it for the anti-inflammatory properties before I work out. It's a wonderful product, realcbdthatworks.com. We also talk about financial products. We have Joe in today, becomethebanker.org. That's where you find out information about Become the Banker. But today we're not talking about Become the Banker, although part of what he does is financial advisors. He's a financial advisor. And the reason he does Become the Banker is because it's really easy to get into. You don't need thousands and thousands of dollars. You put a few $100 away and you got a life insurance policy, but that's not the main purpose. The main purpose is to sock away money tax-free. There are very few things the government allows you to grow tax-free. One of them is a 529 for your kids' education. You got Roth, you got different ones where you can put after-tax money in and grow tax-free. Then you have qualified plans where you put pre-tax money in that grows tax-free. Now, the pre-tax money that you put in are subject to all kinds of limitations. The after-tax money, not so many limitations. But the key is, on most everyone, you do pay normal income tax when you draw it out. But Joe came up with Become the Banker about 30 years ago or more, where you overfund your policy and you don't ever pay tax on it because you do it in a very strategic manner. You build your wealth tax-free because that's what the government allows you to do with all of these plans, including life insurance. But when it comes to taking money out, you borrow it. And because it's a loan to yourself, there's no tax on that money. And you keep the loan out forever, basically. And when you die, your policy's death benefit pays it off. So it's kind of like a no-lose situation for people that want a retirement income. But it's not, like I said, it's not for everyone, meaning that it's not the only plan. A lot of people say, well, I want a 401k and I want this. Do whatever you want. This is just one of them. But here's something really to keep in mind, okay? You can also use Become the Banker during your life. You don't have to wait for retirement. You can buy your own car. Jordan saved up enough money and bought his own car and paid himself back. So he paid his policy loan off to buy a car. So you don't have to keep the loans out. You can pay it back, and you can then have a rotating line of credit of your own where you pay yourself back interest on top of your cash value, and then you grow even more. So did you buy one car? What did you?
Actually, I bought two cars.
What was your loan, your first loan?
The first loan was for, I think it was about $7,000 because I was 16 years old buying my first vehicle. And
so you borrowed from your own policy.
Paid cash for the Jeep.
And then you paid yourself back how much?
I was doing about $250 a month at that time, and we put it out for 3 years. But of course, being at that age, we had to extend it a little bit because spending
then
money.
Your second car was how much?
Your second car was closer to about $30,000.
Your loan?
Yes.
Did you pay that off yet?
Yes, that one's been paid off, and then.
And when you pay yourself back, did you put more interest away?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I made all the money the banks were going to make off me back into my policy. So that interest rate, I think on the first one it might have been about like 2 or 3%.
Did you buy a house yet with it?
I have my condo. I didn't have enough to pay the full house off, but I put a huge chunk towards my first condo, and that is what I've used it for. So I've used it for down payments, for refurbishing the house, doing upgrades, all of that,
okay.
and eventually, give another 5-10 years, I'll probably have enough to pay off the full house.
Now, one of the tools that you guys use is an annuity. But people, you've heard good things about annuities, bad things about annuities. You've heard lies about annuities. Let's talk about the truth in annuities. Annuities, all annuities, you put money in, it's supposed to grow with tax benefits, and then you get it back in income. That's the way it's supposed to work, and it has a death benefit. That's pretty much general for most annuities, right?
Yes, there's income-driven annuities and growth annuities, so you have two forms.
The growth annuity doesn't have the income?
No, there's no typical fees, and it's just pure growth.
And then what do you do with that growth, though, if it doesn't have income? You can just draw it out? Or
You can draw the account out, put it into another investment.
But can you draw out partially, like a line of credit? Like, can you, in other words, can you use it as a bank account?
No, because most annuities allow a 10% penalty-free withdrawal from the contract value.
So you can, the most you can take is 10% at a time.
Correct.
Can you take 10% a month?
10% per year.
Okay. So those are growth annuities.
Correct.
And then there's income annuities.
Correct.
But I asked, is there a scenario with an annuity where you can possibly lose your principal or not get all your money back, or your return back? And you said yes.
Absolutely.
With variable annuities.
Correct.
Variable annuities traditionally have higher rates of return, but also have risk.
Absolutely.
And they also have higher fees.
That's correct.
And you don't personally like them.
I think they have a fit in certain scenarios, but in a given scenario for the average consumer, it's not a good fit for retirement.
Michael Ladd is with Aegis, and he is somebody who deals with Joe. Do you sell to Joe, or Joe buys your product, or how does it work? Are you a representative of Aegis?
Yeah, so I work for Aegis Financial. We are a brokerage firm representing 120 different insurance carriers, which equates to about 5,000 different annuity products.
See, that's what gets confusing. So what are annuities where there is no danger? Give me the best case scenario for an annuity. I heard the worst case, that is a high-risk variable where there's no income rider and you basically can only take 10% out a year and you could lose your principal. That's worst case in my opinion.
Correct.
Well, give me a best case.
The best case is a fixed indexed annuity.
Okay, so tell me what, in very basic terms, a fixed index annuity is.
It participates in a linked market account like the S&P 500, so you get growth based on the stock market, but there's no downside risk. Your principal is guaranteed 100%.
So let's take a number, 500 people. It can be, or 1,000. I'm saying 500,000. Obviously, don't let that number bother you. Just let's take that as an example. So what is there a guaranteed growth? There's a guarantee not to lose the 500, but is there a guaranteed growth?
Depending on the product, there can be. On the traditional index annuity, there's no guaranteed growth number. There's a guaranteed minimum contract number.
What does that mean?
That means if you needed to walk away from the policy early, there's a guaranteed minimum that if the market went down, you will get your guaranteed contract value back.
And that guaranteed contract value, is that more than your principal?
No. It's typically equal to your principal or slightly less, depending on any additional fees built into the product.
And why is there even a guaranteed contract value?
It's an insurance company, so that's built on guarantees.
So you put 500,000 in, and it grows.
Absolutely.
Is the growth tax-free?
It's not tax-free. It's tax-deferred.
Well, okay. Tax-deferred. It's tax-free while in the account.
Correct.
Okay. Then what is the benefit of having a fixed index annuity? You get growth. Now, what if you get growth and then a loss?
It locks in the gains.
It locks in the gains. So what does that mean?
So
if it goes from 500 to 550, that 550 is locked in?
That's your current account value, and it will not go less than that. So if you had a 10% loss in 2020, you still have 550. If it goes up 5% in 2021, you are now locking in those gains.
It only ratchets up gains and not losses.
Correct.
You suffer the loss, but never below the guarantee.
Well, the zero. So what we say in the industry is zero is your hero, because if there's market loss, you lose zero, and you locked in the gains at where your current contract value's at.
Okay, well that sounds a little almost gimmicky. How can you possibly do that? So you guarantee growth.
It's not guaranteed growth. It's based on the index.
It's fixed. It's growth that you keep. It ratchets up.
Correct.
Okay, so you lock in the growth.
Yep.
And you never lose that growth again.
Correct.
It becomes part of your principal.
Correct.
Technically.
Yep.
And just if I can add, the reason is because you're not technically invested in the market. You're using the S&P 500. That's why you can't lose anything.
So the 500 goes to 550. Now you won't go below 550. Does that become your guaranteed contract value?
That's your guaranteed account value.
Not contract value.
Correct.
Okay.
The contract is a baseline that the insurance carrier builds into the product.
Okay, so your guaranteed account value, is there ever a scenario where you won't get all of your guaranteed account value back?
There are, if you take a withdrawal that's over the 10%, they charge a surrender charge, so the carrier keeps that portion.
So you can only take 10% a year?
From the account value, unless you have an income rider on it that is paying you the lifetime income.
So whether it's income or withdrawals, is there a scenario where you're going to die and not have all your money?
If you died, the beneficiaries that are listed on the policy would get the remaining assets.
So again, then, there's no scenario where your money stays on the table.
Unless the client needed access to 100% of it, they're paying fees to get it out of the contract.
So if you need 100% of it, there is some cost to that. Can that cost ever dip into your principal?
It can, depending on when you take the assets out.
Okay. What is the minimal amount of time you need to keep it in, not to be socked with any penalties?
That's based on the contract. They're typically set up in a 5-year, 7-year, or 10-year policy. So if you wait through the surrender charge period,
then what?
There's no fees.
Ever.
You can walk away with the account value.
You can walk away with the account value
after the surrender charge period is over.
So if I wait for 5 years, I put $500,000 in and wait 5 years. At the end of that 5 years, I can take it all.
As long as it's a 5-year policy, that's correct.
Can I take half and leave half in?
At that point, you can.
Can I take half out and then the next year put more in?
Depending on the product, some of them are a lump sum only. Some of them are flexible premium, meaning that you can add additional money to it down the road.
But is there anything totally flexible, like a bank account almost, but it has the benefit of an annuity?
As far as liquidity, no.
Okay.
Liquidity is limited.
Is that why they have the benefit of this tax-free growth, this tax-deferred growth, and this ratcheting up is because they know you have to keep it in there a certain amount of time?
Yes, and that's how they built it, so that way they can leverage your money to get bigger returns inside the policy.
So, Mark, an annuity, the annuity he's talking about, the best case scenarios are fixed index annuities. You ratchet up the gains. You never go below what your account.
So, like, what did that product do last year in 19? The S&P was up 30% plus.
Is there a cap on the growth?
There, depending on the index selected, there can be a cap. There can be a participation rate that's uncapped. To Mark's question, our average product last year did about 17%, which we're capturing 50% of the S&P 500 is the average participation rate.
Which means what? What does that mean to me?
So if the market went up 20%, you get a 10% interest credited to your account.
Okay, and is it capped at 50%?
It's capped at 50%, but the growth, if the market went up 100% and doubled, you would get 50% of that 100% of the market gains. So you have a participation that's locked in.
Your participation is 50%, and the company makes 50%.
Correct.
And that growth can never be taken away.
Correct.
That becomes your new baseline. So it ratchets up. Your baseline ratchets up over the years.
Correct.
And after the surrender value, I can take from it.
From the account value, you can walk. That's your walk away.
But can I take? Most people in retirement just want to take money when they need it.
Yep. You have the luxury to take it when you need it outside of the surrender charge period.
When you need it, meaning a few grand here, a few grand there. Or does it have to be monthly? Does it have to be yearly?
It can be yearly, monthly. You have the flexibility to choose.
Does it have to be regular?
It can be systemic where it's regularly every year. You could set it up, I want it this year, but I want to wait 4 more years to take more.
Okay.
So you have the
then
flexibility.
Can you also contribute more? Again, I'm asking that again. Can you recontribute?
In specific index annuity contracts, you can. Most of them are a single premium lump sum.
And you can't.
And you can't add.
You can't add. Okay.
Correct.
People, if you have any questions, I want you to call. I think it's very, very basic. Okay, so when people have a bad taste in their mouth about annuities, you're telling me it's mainly because of these variable annuities.
Correct. There's a lot of misconception, and everyone lumps the word annuity and it's applied to all different types, and that's not necessarily the case.
I want you to grill them on your concerns.
It's not even a concern. I just go to math in everything I do. So if Tom puts $100,000 into annuity today, okay, I mean literally today, what should he expect this year, and when does he actually recover his principal? When does he have $100,000 back?
So if you put $100,000 in today, the average return in an index annuity is going to be 4 to 6% on average.
All right. I have to take a break. Then, Mark, I want you to grill them on it because I really want people. No, I don't mean grilling the bed. I want people to know what annuities are all about. We have more coming up. I got so far behind, I got nervous.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Can you run a tape? Can you? All right, go ahead. I'm sorry. Can you? All right, on 60, can you do it on Denver Trial?
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. So, Mark, you may just Mark. Yes. Just.
News and opinion from
I'll be right back.
verified people in
Yeah, see, let's talk about the other benefits, like the long-term care, the
voice probate,
bonuses. Oh, it's quickly gone.
That's
I think you get
that's
that
what you do in the first year. I mean, the bonus makes up room for some of that. If you
He knows
open
about
that
it.
waiting period.
Okay.
This is perfect though.
Yeah, then the income
Something I
tax,
can help with?
obviously some guaranteed income for life. Even if the person outlives his mortality, right? Because they'll calculate it based on he's 66 years old, you're going to be able to make it to age 85. What if he makes it to age 100? Right. The company will leave it.
Or if he passes away the next year,
Yeah.
his family gets it. Then he gets these things.
We're going to have
Unlike, some accounts.
So you live in Blackhawk?
Am I leaving?
So you live in Blackhawk?
I got a place in Blackhawk.
Oh, cool.
And then it's a little different when you're out there.
You're gonna move though, aren't you?
So you're gonna be actually you can actually download the podcast.
How long does it take you to drive up there? Or down here, I should
Great
say.
answers.
Yeah, that's what would suck right there.
Absolutely. Well, if I came here, so I didn't
We're gonna use that. We're gonna put that.
How many because I haven't looked at his referral list in a while.
Mine's not much shorter.
It's only like 2 or 3.
Yeah, as far as that advisors.
So we're the only ones basically that deal with become the banker as well. Yeah.
So a lot of them are like real estate for real mortgages or
What?
products that are so financially driven.
I don't think so. Why? Who's coming up?
Not just by teaching you how to deal with life stresses.
No. I don't know. I didn't hear anything.
I'm gonna try the CBD oil. That sounds pretty good to me.
Yeah. I got some at the house.
My mom uses it.
Yeah.
Really? She's a diabetic and she's got neuropathy, so she's got a lot of pain in her feet.
Oh wow, yeah.
And so she rubs it on her feet
Hey
and
Mark,
takes it away.
where do you have us listed on the referral list?
Where do we have what?
Where do you have my company listed on the referral list?
Just search, excuse me, become the banker or anything that would have to do with.
What's the categories they have? Insurance?
I'd have to look, Joe. Hold on.
Because I'm trying to find it.
But yeah, the CBD oil, I've given my dog it too. She got like pet CBD oil because she has cancer and stuff like that. It seemed to help her out quite a bit, so I'm a big believer in it.
I have the dog treats that have it in it.
Yeah.
For my dog. So I have one dog that when I take him to the vet, he hates getting in the car. He hates riding. And so I give it to him an hour before, and he hops in the car and just lays down, and it's like nothing ever happened.
Yeah, the same for Angel.
What's that?
Slow.
Let's see here. Go to his, just to become the banker real quick. Something was going on today with it.
So I can't find it
Not yours.
under insurance.
Well, you want insurance, right? Financial planning.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, I can't see it.
What'd you search?
I can't see it.
I don't know why it's so slow. Let me see if it's slow on here too. I already got a support ticket in.
Gas, or pain, or diarrhea, sometimes all at once, over and over.
I spent years with the symptoms, but could never figure it out. No matter what I did,
I'm not even getting to it.
So I decided to break it down for my doctor and get really specific about my symptoms.
There we go.
We discovered that exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI, may be the reason for my stomach issues.
I don't know. No, because it took forever to come up. It should be instant.
Gas, bloating, stomach pain, unexplained weight loss, and oily symptoms. The symptoms just don't go away.
I don't know why it's going so fucking slow.
You have sandwich or whatever right here in Bellevue. Really? Oh my god, the best sandwich in the world.
Do they have
vegetarian?
Right, I gotta get everything.
We got like going up
Yeah, right. New apartments. Yeah, exactly.
Let me see. Go back.
What's the name of it?
He's under financial. You're under financial advisors.
Oh, okay, perfect.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah.
So any.
Is that the only one?
Yeah, I can put you under life insurance if you want.
We have both. Or?
Yeah.
I don't even know. Well, it's going to be insurance. You're going to pop up when they want auto insurance, so you're going to get those calls.
That's okay. Give us a new one.
All right.
Well, let's talk about this.
It's called Yampa sandwich.
What's that?
You probably don't have it.
I'm pretty sure they got vegetarian.
No.
But I've looked it up before.
It's probably under financial advisors. Did you search it? Something's wrong. They're working on it, man.
Oh, this guy, RJ. Oh, fuck.
Yes, sir.
No, they got fish and veggie sandwiches.
He just needs to get his car out of there. They're willing to work with him, Tom.
Really good. Real good.
Democratic contenders face their next test. The NBC News MSNBC Democratic ticket tomorrow at 9 Eastern on NBC MSNBC. Denver's talk station, 630 KHAL.
One Clear Choice Garage Doors. Listen, these guys are right there when you need them with an emergency. If you have a broken spring or something like that. They also have brand new doors and brand new openers, and they have a wonderful service. I always talk about Chappie, the owner, a former Marine, and how he runs it. They do these inspections that are fully, they go through every part of your garage door. If you moved into a house and you need an inspection, I think it's like $80 for a complete, thorough inspection of that garage door with adjustments and hinge bolt tightening and all of that. And that is oneclearchoicedoors.com for all your garage door and opener needs. 720-370-3987. 720-370-3987. oneclearchoicedoors.com. Okay, so listen, we've been talking about annuities, and we will, but I want to go back to RJ. Now, I know RJ's been holding. We have been working behind the scenes. Deputy Slim has been working on this. Now, RJ, I know that you have a lot of bad feelings about this place because you dropped it off for a diagnosis. They've had it for a while. You said they did work without your approval. And by the way, the work that they did, they even admit was the wrong work. You didn't need it. They thought you needed a sensor. What's that?
Which they admitted after the fact.
Yeah,
when you guys started.
They did. They did. So now they say you need a CPU, but here's the thing. Now this is what you got to listen to. They're not going to charge for the work you didn't need, so that's not an issue anymore. They're not even going to charge you for storage, but they want your car out of there. And here's what they're saying:
I want it out of there.
They did do. Hold on. Listen carefully. This is the best we can do. Listen completely and then comment. Okay. They said that they did do a diagnosis and had Subaru come there, and for absolutely sure, you need a CPU. Okay. Now, they also know that the sensor did not work. The ignition position sensor didn't work, so therefore, you're not going to be charged for it. They're not even going to charge you for storage. But they will charge you one thing only, and that's a diagnostic fee, and you said you brought it in for a diagnosis. So if you pay the diagnostic fee, they will waive all storage charges. They won't charge for the crank position sensor, and basically you can take your car anywhere you want to have the CPU done. Now, before you even answer, I know you're not going to pay the diagnostic fee, but that's all they're going to charge you for, which is how much, Deputy Slim?
It's completely total with the Subaru install guy, about $460.
Okay, now, RJ, that's the best we can do. We do not think it's unreasonable that your car was totally diagnosed and but you're not going to pay. I know you're not. I can read your mind. So now you're going to have to take it up with them and go to court and all of that, okay? So the easiest thing for you to do would be to pay the $400, get the car out of there. If you don't believe you owe a dime, you're going to have a problem with them, and we can't help you.
I would like to state that the Colorado AAA website shows that if repair shop needs to do diagnostic work before a complete estimate can be done, the shop must give the customer
That's
an
right.
estimate.
That's
for the
right.
cost of
That's
the
right.
diagnosis.
That's right. But they don't have to give it to you in writing because you towed it in. So they're claiming, huh?
It was never given.
I know. This is where hang on. They're claiming they got your approval on it. So, RJ.
I think they have shady and unprofessional business.
So, RJ, here's the deal, bro. Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Do whatever you want. We're just the messenger. You don't think they got your approval. You don't think you owe the money. Let your car sit there. I mean, we can't do anything about it.
I know. I was willing to pay them $250 this morning.
Okay, here's the thing. What I think you should do is you should pay them the $400, and then what you should do is go back after them if you believe they truly did not get your approval for the diagnostic fee. You're right. They're supposed to get your approval. Listen, I'm going to stop listening because we're saying the same thing over and over and over, but you're not showing wisdom in the way you want to do it. They're holding all the cards, RJ. They're holding all the cards. They have your car. You can't demand that you get it back for $250.
I'm just giving my opinion, Tom.
But I'm saying, doesn't it make sense to pay that diagnostic fee? We got all the storage charges taken away. When you first called us, the charges were up around $1,000. Get your damn car back, then make the argument they never got your approval for the diagnostic because they claim they did. They claim they have the time, date, and approval of what you gave. And by the way, it does not have to be in writing because the car was dropped off. It was towed in. Ron's got an annuity question. Go ahead, Ron. What's happening?
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, sir.
I've got a fixed annuity, as described.
Yes.
I was listening before. And I was just doing my spreadsheet, trying to figure out, I'm kind of considering an exit strategy.
How long have you had the fixed annuity?
Yes, I do have.
How long have you had it?
Oh, how long? I've had it 8 years, and it's not a good one. The penalty, it's not without penalty until 12 years.
Well, that's what you signed in the beginning.
Yes. Yeah, I did.
What's the benefit of longer surrender times? Is that because you're supposedly get a higher return? What normally is the reason for the higher surrender times?
They gave me a bonus, an initial bonus of like 20%.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that could be significant.
The longer the surrender charge period, usually a larger bonus is implied.
Yeah.
On the front end to the client, as well as a potential increase of return as well.
What's the shortest surrender time?
The shortest on a fixed index annuity is a 3-year product.
Okay, a 3-year product. Yeah. Go ahead. What were you going to say then?
Yeah, my specific question is I'm considering exercising an income rider that I've got with it. And if I exercise that, does that mean the accumulated value balance is just disappears? In other words,
you've accumulated an account value right now, and you want to know if you switch over to income, will that balance go away?
That's right. Exactly.
Yeah, so to answer your question there, when you exercise the income rider on an indexed annuity, what the insurance carrier does is they take your account value and they pay out the percentage, which is the payout factor, to you, which is specified in your contract of what your guaranteed income would be each and every year going forward for the rest of your life.
Right.
What happens is that dollar amount that is your guaranteed income amount decreases your account value proportionately based on the income that's being distributed. So what the insurance company does is they use your money first to pay the income, and then once you basically hit your life expectancy, you dip into the insurance carrier's pocket and you start receiving their money.
Or the return you pay.
Correct.
Right.
Okay.
Now-
So
now
hold
my
on. Then at the end of that, when you die, does your estate get the rest?
If there's a remaining account value when you pass away, that passes to your beneficiaries. If you have lived past your average life expectancy and you've already depleted that account value because you've been drawing income for 15, 20 years.
Yeah, right.
There's zero account value. There's nothing past your
But that's good because you're not leaving money on the table, your money ever.
You gained money from the insurance carry.
Now, if you have more questions, hang on. We have to take a break. Here's the downside.
Denver's talk station.
What's the downside? Needing that money during the surrender.
Liquidity is a downside.
If you need it immediately.
Liquidity.
Yeah.
So not having access to all your money.
And then even after the surrender period, well, you still are limited to 10%, right?
No, only in the contract period.
See, then there is no downside, is there?
The downside is, to be completely straightforward,
Yes.
the downside is liquidity. So if you put 100 grand in, you can only pull out 10 grand that first year. So if you need
it.
Right. So if the plan is set up correctly and you have 6 months of your finances in a savings account and you have other assets and investments, the annuity has no risk. There's no issue with liquidity. The problem is insurance advisors out there, the insurance salesmen, not the financial planners, are putting all of the assets into the product, and the client has no liquidity, and then they call in with a complaint because they need 20 grand because the car broke down.
And they can't get it out.
Yep. So that's where it runs into it, is they weren't disclosed properly, or they weren't sold a suitable product.
Okay, got it. TheArtOfGranite.com. We love this place. Why? Because they take care of their customers. First of all, with wholesale on all materials. How do you beat that, really? Wholesale on all materials because they're a direct stone importer. Then they only charge for fabrication and installation. That means all of the tear out and haul away is free. The bathroom's free when you do the kitchen. TheArtOfGranite.com. Get your price on the phone even. A very close estimate. 303-386-5919. All right, so you ran some numbers for me. What did you run me, a 3-year product or a 5-year?
We did a.
It's a 10-year product.
I'm not going to do 10.
It's a 10-year.
I'm never going to do 10, bro.
It's just an example.
Just an example of
Just to
one.
give you an idea.
Are you thinking income driven?
I don't know what I'm thinking.
Or just principal
Okay,
protection with growth?
technically I could do 10 years. I'm 66 though, so it would be like 76. I mean, God willing, I'm supposed to be healthy because of my family history and all that. And I have plenty of time to draw money, but I don't like the idea of 10 years.
So if you're doing income and you're thinking of having an income rider on there, the surrender charge period is null and void, because most products that have a good income rider are 10 years. The 3-year products don't have as good of income potential as a 10-year product. So your standard income annuity is always going to be a 10-year chassis.
Oh, no matter what.
But
So okay, so what if I want, but you have to wait the full 10 years to even get your income.
No, you can start income 30 days after the policy is issued.
Yeah.
That's only, so the thing about it is you're 66. Imagine if you were 50 and you want to retire when you're 65.
Right.
So you put in $500,000 at age 50, and you want income at 65. So that's going to roll up. Your income base is going to roll up for 15 years. Well, what if you don't need income at that point? You just said, oh, I have all the income because you inherited money from your parents. You don't need to exercise that. So now you have your income value and your account value. You can only walk away with this account value. So when they build these products with income, they put them on a 10-year product chassis because they can leverage the internal money to invest it, to give you the returns, to give you the income base, and it's kind of null and void when you trigger the income rider.
They do have income riders with shorter surrender periods, but they're not good.
They're not typically
If you want to buy, you can exercise it on the 10.
I don't know if I want to buy it there by any
or year 5 or year 7.
I kind of like it.
You don't have to wait 10
years.
You don't have to wait till you're 10 years.
It's too far away to get.
Optimizes. It just allows you to take as much money out as you want. But if you're really looking for income, like he's saying, where you're not there, it doesn't really matter. Yeah.
So the income doesn't affect your liquidity. So
what's another?
If you triggered the income rider and you're put $500,000 in, and you wait 1 year and you want to take income, it's going to be $30,000. You can still pull 10% on top of your income that you're getting for life. You can pull 10% on the back end.
Yeah, that's nice.
It doesn't take. even with a 10-year. So
What is?
the surrender period is really null and
I didn't
void.
know that. Yeah.
What's that?
If you take like your income and your
I didn't know that you could take 10% plus
yeah,
income.
you can take 10% on top of the income, right? Yeah, I didn't know that either. That's pretty
Okay, guys.
There's another.
Yeah, I know. You're going to call your brother-in-law. You're going to call your cousin. Worse, you're going to talk to your next-door neighbor when you've gotten in a car accident because you wonder who can tell you about your injuries. You know who can tell you free of charge? A real attorney and a good guy, John Fuller. John Fuller is the kind of person you can call and say, you know what, John? This is what happened. What do you think? He'll tell you the truth. He'll tell you if you have a good case. He'll tell you what he thinks it might be worth. But one thing for sure, if he takes your case, he knows that he has a good chance of collecting. That's why you can depend on him. PersonalInjuryCO.com. When you need it, call him. 303-597-4500. Never a charge for a consultation, and he only collects when you collect. 303-597-4500.
Have you been lied to? Lied to by Washington politicians and the Wall Street propaganda machine? Hi, I'm Inc. magazine best-selling author.
This is their only vehicle. If they have,
You ever been to McConaughey, Mark?
if they like become the bankers,
How far is that?
3 hours.
and it gives them that
It's in
ability to take
Nebraska.
money
I
from
don't
this
see
for a few years.
what you do, guys. I don't know what I
McConaughey.
want.
I don't think
My
I've ever
problem
been
is,
You know, Wyoming's got
I'm
that big lake up there.
unfortunate.
Yeah, I give you what
So
the name of it is.
I don't really,
Lake McConaughey
I don't
is
know if I'll
huge.
remain for
But
it.
here's
got
the
most
thing
beautiful
that
sandy
I don't
beaches.
know.
As
That's
blessed as
why
you are.
maybe I'll be unhappy. that
Where
I
is
did
it?
this.
The right along
Maybe I'll
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
oh my
No,
God, I never
76,
thought things
you
could get
go
this bad. I don't
76
know.
to 80 and then-
But here's the thing: if you're
It's right there.
really, it's insurance.
Theoretically, I'll be working for 10 more years.
People buy insurance for cars
That's where it's
to insure against a car accident. People buy an annuity for market risk. There's a 26% chance every single year the market will go down. And so if you don't have an
3 hours
annuity with
straight
part
shot
of
on
your
the
assets, if we have a 2007,
see.
2008, you can lose 40% of your
Yeah,
assets
all around
and going
it.
into
I still
retirement
don't
can
see
you
where
afford that?
I-70 is here.
Whether
Well,
you
it's
need
not
income from it or not,
78,
you can't afford to lose
76,
40% of your
76
assets.
That's how you get
You
the
have kids.
Like you're going to Fort Morgan.
That's where it's the safety.
Yeah.
It's the safety net for your portfolio.
And then you
Not
have
all
long-term
of it.
care benefits.
Yeah, long-term
It's
care.
a really
You have
good
the bonus
in
built
there.
in.
It's really
You got
cool.
the income, the death benefit.
Around Lake.
The nice thing is the long-term care. So like if you're getting like 30,000 a
Yeah,
year for
you can,
your pension,
yeah.
but you need long-term care, they'll automatically double your
60,000
We looked into buying one last year.
And a death benefit too.
And a
But does
death-
that mean I
It
need a
depends. We
physical?
were looking
You
at-
know.
No, that's
No,
the
they're not underwritten.
Oh yeah,
That's the nice
cheap.
thing with this.
It's
you
not
don't have
underwritten.
that
It's not insurance.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
cheap.
Cheap.
Why the fuck?
That is.
I know that was
Nice
annoying
lake.
that they.
Oh,
they
it's a
did.
beautiful lake.
Yeah,
Big son
the
of a
insurance
bitch.
company.
No, I can pass the physical.
Right, right,
I
right.
just can't pass because of that
Oh,
thing.
it's not as bad as you would
Stupid,
think.
stupid.
It's not as bad as you would
Stand
think.
those big lakes and win.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Ron, do you have any specific annuity questions, sir? Ron? Oh, I'm sorry. I got Scott instead. Scott, you go ahead, then I'll go to Ron. Go ahead, Scott. You have experience in the auto industry, and you have a comment on that Meineke problem. I just think the consumer is pissed off because he feels like he's never gotten a call from them and never gave approval for anything, and now he owes money. My theory, my whole thing on that was, why'd you take it in if you didn't want to spend anything? Why'd you even bother taking it in? You knew something was wrong with it. And it's, even though technically they're supposed to get his approval, they're not charging him for anything other than the diagnostic fee. He doesn't even want to pay that. What is your comment, Scott?
Okay, first off, you take a car into a dealership or a repair facility. I worked in both dealerships,
Right.
repair facilities, and
Right.
rent a tire.
Right.
So, first off, well, what we call common in the auto industry is the 3 C's. The first thing when he comes in, the first thing is the complaint.
Right.
So we got the complaint. What's the complaint? And that becomes the diagnostic. What's the car doing? What's it not doing?
Right.
Where are we at? So typically they take a repair order. At that time, you sign a work order authorizing that work to be done. So that's the first thing is, I mean, he doesn't seem to be happy with anything.
Right.
But first off, there's kind of a mutual thing there. He took it there. Why? Because it didn't work.
Well, yeah, of course. That's what I was getting at. He wants him to do something, but when you talk to him, it's like, no, I didn't want anything.
Right. Why did you take it there? First off, you took it there because why? The car didn't start. Does the car have a vibration? Does the transmission have a harsh shift? Is it not shifting?
Right.
In another
He
gear?
took it there because it wasn't starting.
Right. So there's your complaint, okay? And
okay,
so
but aren't you supposed to say to him at that time, sir, for a diagnostic fee, it'll be $400?
Right. Typically, all right, let's just say that you brought me a car and you said, hey, my dash lights aren't working anymore. Okay, there's my complaint. So next off, I'm going to say, okay, what do you want me to do with the car? What you want us to fix this? The next thing I'm going to tell you is our shop rate is typically $95 to $100 per hour.
Well,
And
okay.
usually
They're claiming they did all that. He's saying they didn't.
Well, with all the years I've been in the industry, I was in for 17 years.
Yes.
And, well, actually longer than that if you add it all together. But anyways, 17 years solid I was in it, and then I went to work for Mannheim Auto Auctions. However, when they come in, typically we say, okay, this is your complaint. This is.
You've said that, Scott. Really, you got to get to a point other than the complaint, because we're stuck there. Just what is your comment on how Meineke handled it?
Okay. Well, next off, this is where I'm going with it. Typically, what they'll say is, okay, our shop rate is X amount of dollars per hour. What do you want us to do? At that point, he's got to either authorize something to be done on the car or don't take the car at all.
I know, Scott, what he said he just wanted a diagnostic. They said, okay, that's all we're going to charge for. He is saying, but you never told me that was going to cost money. And they're saying, well, yes, we did. That's where it is, okay? They did everything they say according to the way they should. He's saying they didn't. What do you do when you have a he said and a she said? He said they didn't give me an estimate for the diagnostic, and they said, yes, we did. So I say you pay the damn thing, get it out of there, stop the clock, and then go back after them if you think you have a case. Wow, this is crazy. Ron, do you have a specific question on annuities?
Yes.
Okay.
If I exercise the lifetime benefit, and then after the withdrawal period is up, the penalty period is up, I decide not to take it anymore, can I take my balance out?
If he's past that withdrawal period.
Yes.
Yes, you can take your account value and walk away from that insurance product. However, the insurance carriers build and price in your guaranteed income to really benefit you, the consumer. And so it may not be a wise decision to surrender your income benefit base to just walk away with the income amount, unless you needed additional liquidity.
I get that.
Now, Impact.
I'm looking at it. Florida's so cheap
It
to
doesn't
fly
make sense as a
to.
consumer to start the income and then walk away because you built up this income account that you'll never get. So, and you typically are paying typically there can be income rider fees. So you're paying a fee, and then now you're walking away.
I get it. Like,
what's the point of being in that? So
about where my folks are.
And that's where, honestly,
They
Tom,
are
a lot of the confusion about annuities comes from. Clients
If they got hit by a hurricane, boy, that'd be a big son of a
or
bitch.
it wasn't disclosed properly.
They're kind of Nero college.
The way Mark and I looked at it was, if you have an income, you put 500 in and you get 30,000.
I'd like the ocean, but then I'd look at the
so long
keys.
to get that.
15 and a half years.
You're never even going to dip into your return. So you're really just, getting your money back.
Right.
But it's.
In other words, you're just basically giving them the money to give it back to you. So why do that? Rocky Mountain Retro Foam is an insulation company, okay? Here's the bottom line. If you need to get your home insulated, you're not going to find a better product. It's that simple. Because it takes the place of your current insulation, if you have any. It moves it out of the way, and it fills every nook and cranny. It's an injection foam, like a thick shaving cream. It's not an epoxy. It's not a spray. It goes in from outside the house, and it can usually be done in a day without disrupting your living space. When you look at the video, you will be convinced. I was. Rocky Mountain Retro Foam. Here's the website, foamyourwalls.com. It's incredible stuff. I actually use the injection foam nozzle to see how it works. This stuff is very energy efficient. It'll make your home 50% more energy efficient, 50%, and 80% more quiet in a day. 676-6333. Now when you do the home, you get 20% off the attic part. Foamyourwalls.com.
That's on the inside of the walls, right?
Yeah, it's incredible.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I honestly, I should have.
If you look
when
at
I had the builder, I should have bought.
No, they do have property.
I mean,
I just got a new.
They make it up
years ago,
somewhere.
and I had
yeah,
the
but
option.
you can't do it on a new home.
Okay. I
Because-
can still do the attic probably, but
Well, the new home is such that it's not better than insulation. It's
Right.
just that most of the older homes don't have really good insulation. I mean, if you have a new home and you insulate the hell out of it, it's
Right.
good.
but
Just a reminder, we have K&H coming in soon. I can keep the girl in there with me if you want. That's up to you.
Yeah, I
haven't met her
I love
yet.
this discussion
Yeah.
about.
To your point, Tom, on that, why do it? It's transferring the risk. So instead of you taking on the risk of managing and keeping the assets in an account and a market loss, or you misinvest it,
And I'm
you're
guaranteed to ratchet up.
You're transferring that risk to the insurance company.
Plus, I can take 10% on top of my
That's
income.
right.
and then
So,
you get long-term
and
care
that
everything
does
else.
that reduce my return?
It reduces your income potential. So if you start to pull your normal income and you start to take 10%, it will reduce the income proportionally on the guaranteed because you're dipping into the account value. So it kind of goes down proportionally. So if it's a 10% withdrawal, your income isn't going to necessarily go down 10%. It's going to be like 1.6%.
But if it's earning really good money, would it
It'll
offset
it?
It will offset it.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting good returns, I can afford to take out
Absolutely.
10% without
Absolutely.
hurting the income.
Right.
But what I'm saying is that if people feel like they're getting up there and they got a lot of money in there, shit, I just want to take it. They don't care.
Then they can take it all.
Yeah.
If they want.
Right.
Take half of it.
It's all transferring risk. It's insurance for your retirement to offset market exposure, and it's not for all of the assets. It's a piece of the portfolio.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the key.
And you can't. And the thing that people want to do is they want to compare it to investments.
And
You know,
you can't.
to Mark's question is, the market did 30% last year. It's not an investment. It's an insurance product. So it's
Guaranteed.
It's guaranteed. So your returns are going to be a lot lower, but you're not exposed to market loss. So there's give and take there.
And for people that have a 401k that they need to transfer their money, the only solution is to have an IRA with this right here.
And the big thing too is that it
Oh,
avoids
yeah.
probate.
See, that
Because
part,
otherwise, if they don't and they cash the 401k, they're going to be penalized and taxed.
Or just keep the 401k though.
Just leave it floating without
You have
any
to put it,
lifesaver.
into another. What he's trying to say is if they
You
put
just
it
put it
into
into
another IRA,
Ameritrade and
they have
self-regulate
to
it or
go
do
from
whatever.
401k
Yeah,
to
but if you
IRA
wanna
and keep
have
the
right,
tax
that's
code.
right.
Yeah, that's always was trying to say.
And you
So
got-
you have to do it sometime.
Hey, if you do roll your 401k over there, you gotta start taking it at 72, just like
Yeah, just like anything
Yeah,
else.
there's
Still
still
RMDs,
RMDs.
still
yeah.
RMDs.
Yeah, still the same.
That.
It's a tax law.
But I think the big thing that people don't realize is
I'm required to start taking income at 72,
From your from your 401k or IRAs. Yeah.
If it's a new
even
money,
if it's an annuity.
well, if it's qualified
qualified.
money,
If it's
yes.
qualified.
If it's non-qualified, then it doesn't matter.
You wanted me to run a scenario. Which
You
is
could still be
non-qualified.
funding more than you're taking though. In fact, you usually do.
And oftentimes, if you were to trigger the income rider on an annuity, the payout percentage is higher than the R&D amount anyway, so it suppresses it.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
So at 72, your RMD is about 3.72% of your total qualified assets. So you got 100,000, you got to take 3,720 bucks. If you trigger the income rider, the income is going to probably pay you about $4,000, so it suffices the RMD, so you don't have to take the income and more because the IRS is telling you have to take an RMD. It qualifies as your RMD for the income stream.
Yeah, I just want to show you an email that I just got from one of the clients that we sold an annuity to. It says, excellent explanation. I'm sure Mark doesn't like it.
Look, if somebody wants control 100% of the
We are
money,
100%
it's not the problem.
satisfied.
Right. Exactly.
But then
We
again,
get. I'll tell you, we had a call last week. Guy was put into annuity, whatever age it was.
Yep.
They're getting ready to lose their house. They
Right.
would have had
They
to
can't-
surrender
they don't have
$25,000.
That's the
That's the problem. They put all their assets.
hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Renew Home Innovations is the name of the company that does all Kohler products and wall systems that require zero maintenance, and they specialize in showers. Somebody asked about that. Can they use it for a fix and flip? Yes, they actually have a good, better, and best product. So yes, they can do some budget bathrooms, but they mainly do the awe-inspiring bathrooms. Renew Home, innovations.com. What's the minimum amount you can invest? The minimum amount in a fixed indexed annuity?
$5,000.
Okay, $5,000. And there is no max.
The maximum typically is $1 million per social without prior insurance carrier approval. The insurance carrier knows that ultra wealthy clients, the whole reason for using these products is to offset your risk and your exposure to the market. And if a carrier takes on more than $1 million per individual social, their risk becomes too large and they need to balance their internal portfolio themselves, so they set those limits.
Okay. All right. Jacob, what's going on with you, sir?
So I sold a house about a month ago, and I fixed several items as part of the inspection resolution. And
did you fix those? Did you fix the items, or did you agree to pay for them, or how did that go?
I hired professionals. Mostly Plumbline was the big one that I
By
used.
the way, just for those listening, I would never, ever do it on either end. If I was the seller, I would never agree to fix anything. I would put money in escrow or reduce the price. If I'm the buyer, I would never allow a seller to fix anything because other than you said you use good people, but most of the time they just want to get it done. So as a side note, if you are buying a home, don't ever let the seller fix anything. And if you're selling, don't agree to fix anything. Okay, so what happened?
Well, so I fixed several items, and I agreed to give them $600 credit at closing to fix some other miscellaneous items that they wanted done.
All right.
Apparently, the $600 never made it into the closing paperwork. I wasn't aware of that when we were at closing. I just kind of assumed it happened.
Okay, so I want to help you, but is it coming back to haunt you now?
Yeah, so that's been about a month ago. My realtor got a letter from an attorney stating that I have 7 days to pay the $600 plus. I guess they're not happy with Plumline's clearing of my drains.
Just hold on. Let's come back to you. MileHighEstatePlanning.com. You will love this attorney. He's so straightforward, Blake Harris. You know, he always has free consultations, always, and located near Union Station with free parking. Listen to this, convenient appointments, nights and weekends. All of his ratings online are 5 stars. Why should you use him? Well, he does pre- and post-nup agreements. He also does probate and trust administration, including litigation, maybe someone contesting a will, or maybe you want to contest a will. Simple wills, beneficiaries, deeds, power of attorney documents, all trust matters. Whether you want to form it, a revocable or irrevocable, he can tell you which one is best in which situation. Amending and dissolving trusts, how about living trusts? But this is really important, asset protection from creditors and lawsuits. Asset protection is not just for the rich. That's a myth. An estate is worth, let's say, anywhere from $100,000 on up. That's all the liabilities and all the assets. Your net is $100,000 or more. You need protection. That's MileHighEstatePlanning.com.
KRFX.
What's up, Ted?
Well,
she was supposed to get the Dad. It kind of pissed me off.
Alvin.
She was supposed to get approval for that atrium over there, and she said she got. Let me find out where she stands on
just let me know.
You know where the atrium is? Where that's where I want to do it. Did you? I want to ask her if she ever got it, and I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. Do you need us to stay on the air with you to get
No,
out the
you know what? I can't. I got to get these guys.
Okay, that's fine. No
we
problem.
had a lot of good exposure. This is good stuff.
Did you want any of this?
Yeah.
Yeah, I want my stuff, the stuff that you do. But I need probably
300 right on the lake.
See, the problem
Big
is,
fucking
I
lake.
need it to look at, but I need to be on the phone with somebody to explain.
So it's not that big though.
So you don't sell retail, right? You
No.
go through them.
So I do sell retail, but I don't compete with them.
1,900 square feet. It ain't.
Primarily it's
And it's 450 now, not
So this is what you're going to go over?
They're on a little tiny pod.
Why is it over to this page? Oh, that's just a thing.
It's all pretty.
And what is this? The same thing?
This is just a comparison.
Oh, this is
So that's a comparison of index returns within an annuity. So you can see the last 10 years, the worst 10 years, and the best 10 10 years,
All the
with
products.
all the products that we represent, the top 51,
Here's the water,
the
though.
product
That's why.
index that we use for the gains inside the product, and then what the returns have actually done. So this gives you an idea of what kind of gains you can get inside of the annuity.
If it was lakefront, maybe. Here's
The
house.
product, that is the name of that
This one's
product.
only been on 7 days.
And then the carrier, who
They're all fixed index.
Or is this just a
They're all
lot?
fixed.
All fixed index.
And then what's this?
This is a lot.
This is for the income, just showing you the top companies, you know, right up here.
So we compare 16 income riders at one time to show which
What's up,
one's the
Ted?
best
How are you,
income
man?
If you need it in
in
year
any
1,
given year.
year 5, you know, it differs. So if you need it in year 10, then
Transparent approach, so that way it's not pushing one product or the other. It's really doing a holistic
Thanks, guys.
approach.
Why have I heard that?
Well, we'll see you later, Tom.
Thanks again, Tom. A pleasure.
We'll come
Oh
back
no,
in.
this is
for sure.
this
I
is
will-
the
I
stuff
just
the
texted
other
him.
guy sells.
Okay, good. Let me know.
Thank you, Mark. See you guys. Bye, Mark.
Yeah, I got. See you guys.
Take care. Bye-bye.
I just put on F-Wave. Just put on F-Wave. It's very similar to this.
Great show.
See ya. Look what Ted's selling.
So you guys are doing roofing now?
They've been doing roofing a while.
Okay.
Hey, man, how are you doing?
This is, I tell you, Colorado.
The new roofing product that we're just getting launched.
This is the Hailstorm, right?
Yeah.
This is the same one this is it, man. This is good shit.
Here.
This is really good. I know all about it, bro. I watched him shoot a
These
cannon
must be
at
the
it.
worst pictures I've ever seen of a house in my life.
Yeah.
Look at these. I can't believe they even put these up. These are the pictures of the house. 1, 2, 3.
It looks pretty good.
I don't know.
You know, price-wise.
That's the
Okay,
pictures
well,
of
I'm
the
going
house.
to sit you right next to Dan, right here. Here's a water for you. This must be
Good.
You already have one? Okay.
Hi.
This must be somebody else.
How are you? Good to see
Okay,
you.
you have a seat here.
Still liking the job?
Oh yeah. We got the.
Did well with our complaints, so I'm liking it. Yeah, they're
Let's see. Okay.
You got the home
Okay, Chan has his own. Do you got headphones over there, Daniel? Oh, okay. For Caitlin? Okay, then I'm going to put these away.
Watching it very closely.
Doing a shuffle.
It is a shuffle, man. Okay. Or unless you have Chan's headphones over there. No?
Is these? I don't know if these
They're
are his or
Beats or
not.
something.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, okay, then let me give you these.
My trade you.
Some of those numbers are amazing.
And that one's got a bad wheel.
That's my brother's bad wheel. I'm cool with it.
My life.
Poor Chan, I've been shuffling them around like crazy. Oh well. There you go.
Give her a sandwich now.
I gotta make the sandwich first.
Did I pay twice?
What?
For Safeco?
No, but I was trying to figure out why you have monthlies. We always save money when we pay ours in full.
I know.
They
I
didn't
don't
even
know why.
give you that option, but the Safeco one, it doesn't matter. It saves you $1 a month. But the Encompass one, you can save over $400 a year if you pay it in full.
Shingles like
So
that.
For
they
your
had
car.
they had me on
But it's too late now, so I told her to let me know when there's a renewal so we can be sure that you
Why
pay
is
in
it too
full.
late?
I don't know the price.
Because it's a one
You
transaction
guys,
deal.
I come to you if I gotta complain.
But I will nod my head.
What's
I
that?
have to do monthly, is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's too late to pay it in full because it's not the beginning of your policy. You've been paying monthly.
So it's not, it's gotta be somewhat.
Do you think it costs me that much?
It's
Not double.
They
or
said it can
50%
save
more.
up to 5%. Well, that's over $400 a year back to you.
Probably about the same
You know?
price. It's like,
So, but I'm going to
Well,
change the
late.
checking accounts to
I meant
get
like
the
a regular-
payments
you did a,
done.
Thanks for that.
Sure.
From
That's
a
crazy.
asphalt.
it's really more than asphalt.
Okay,
Did I hear that Trump
He
commuted?
pardoned or commuted.
That
Yeah,
guy?
that guy, yeah.
Why, I wonder?
If I had to do it, I'd do it.
I wonder why.
It's probably good for
I'm from
the.
Chicago. So
Was Blagojevich, wasn't he Democrat?
He was
Yeah.
selling his seat.
Selling the
No, but
Obama's
wasn't he a
Senate
Democrat?
seat.
Wasn't he a Democrat or not?
Obama's Senate seat.
I mean,
Yeah,
they
he was
can't-
a Dem.
so they can't say he did it because
Yeah.
the guy was Republican.
Right.
and he was selling Obama's seat. When Obama.
Right.
Is that wrong?
That's weird, though.
How do I,
Is it here? What are you doing here, Ted?
I have no idea. I just looked at it and it changed.
I don't know. Does it really? Never know.
I've got that kind of power.
You got good power. Oh, there it is. That's what I wanted.
President Trump is coming to Colorado Springs.
Why isn't it doing it?
Thursday, hear the rally live beginning at 5.
When we're supposed to be
On
doing
630 KL, your voice, your vote. This is the Troubleshooter Show.
I need somebody.
Now, Tom Martino, the Troubleshooter.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. Yes, welcome. This hour brought to you by RealCBDThatWorks.com. If you're looking for CBD products for pain, inflammation, anxiety, and sleep, we have found a great lab in Golden. I look at this almost as a pharmaceutical. They are so scientific and wonderful. The lab is just of the highest standards. And this is, as I said, I almost look at these as prescriptions, although they're not. That's what's great about it. You can buy it over the counter, realcbdthatworks.com, and it really does work. Now, if you have any questions, by the way, you can always go to these guys directly because we're done talking about annuities, 303-779-6600. One thing I did learn, there are different products, and you can be stung really bad by buying a bad one, and there are some that are pretty good. But in all cases, the bottom line is this. An annuity limits, to some degree, liquidity. That is why they can do the higher returns and guaranteed incomes. But in no case with a fixed index annuity do you ever leave money on the table. So you don't ever have to worry about having money in there that you don't eventually get out. Now, you personally may not get it out, but it would go to your estate. However, with a variable annuity, you could end up losing a ton. So that's the difference. If you want more information, Joe, I trust Joe implicitly with information. BecomeTheBanker.org, 303-779-6600. I also want to tell you that we have K&H in the house to say hi. We have a roofer issue here from Robert. Maybe they can weigh in on that. So, because they do, they do basically siding, windows, doors, gutters, roofing. They do all exterior solutions, and that's why they're called K&H Home Solutions. What's going on, Robert?
Hey, Tom.
What's
I need
happening?
Your advice on something.
What's going on?
In July of 2017, I had my roof done. There was hail damage, and State Farm is the one who was my insurance company, and they paid out on the roof. So me and a guy from work, he knew this roofer, and his name was Mike, and he referred me to him. And so me and Mike, at the beginning, before we even started the job, before he started the roof, we made an agreement between him and I, since I was a friend of a friend, that on the deductible, what we would do is all the damage that was done, like on the railing, on the window frames, and the deck, the siding, the garage door, all the painting that needed to be done, that I would do that myself. And he would work with me on the deductible. So
now, this was the roofer who said, we will work with you on the deductible.
Exactly.
Meaning he was going to charge for that extra work, but you were going to do it.
Exactly.
All right.
He got paid for everything.
Gotcha.
All the checks went to him. I did all the work, to cover.
What actual work, Robert, did you do? What actual work did you do?
I did painting of the deck, painting of the siding. I replaced some siding. I did work on the garage door. And
you did everything that was not roof.
Exactly.
Okay. Go ahead.
So the agreement was that he would work with me on the deductible.
I don't know what that means, work with you, but was there more of a definition than work with you?
Not at that time, no. But, like I said, he was a friend of a friend,
And how much was your deductible?
$1,755.
Okay. So go ahead.
So he does the job, and the job ends, and I had the final walkthrough. I gave him the last check. Him and we were walking around the house after the lady had come, the adjuster, and done the final walk and did all of her checkoffs, saying all the repairs had been done. And then I stood in my driveway with some witnesses that were standing there too, and we were all talking. And I said, how much do I owe you? You know, now that the job's all done, you've gotten all the checks from
What
the
was
insurance
his
company.
total bid for the whole job?
He got paid $10,233.
No, I'm asking, what was his whole bid?
I don't know what the bid was. I mean, I had the sheet.
In other words, you had no idea going in how much he was going to charge for this job.
No, the insurance company, I mean, they did a line item. So, I mean, I know how much, like, all the side work was.
What I'm saying is, did you have a contract with this roofer?
Yes, I did.
What was the contracted amount?
I don't know the contracted amount. I mean, it was right around $10,000.
Okay, all right. So he got paid the full contracted amount.
Exactly.
From insurance.
Right.
Gotcha.
Right. And so when the job was done, he did a good job. And him and I stood right there, and I said, so how much do I owe you? You know, concerning the deductibles, since I had done some work.
Well, it sounds like if he had a contract for $10,000 and insurance paid $10,000, it doesn't sound like there was any money due.
So like I said, and I stood right there in my driveway, and I asked him.
But you understand, Robert, it has nothing to do with your side agreement. I'm talking about the contract itself. He was paid for it. So I don't even understand why you would even have an issue. He was paid 100% for his contract.
Right. And you know, and minus deductible. I mean, I don't know how he did the paperwork afterwards. Like I said, I mean, I didn't do like a final.
Robert, you said minus deductible. Here's all I'm asking, okay? And this is why it's so important. I don't ask questions for the hell of it. There's a reason for it. If he got $10,233 from insurance, then he got $10,233. And what was his contract? You said around $10,000. From my estimation, with or without your private agreement, he was paid in full.
As far as I know, I mean, I don't, like I said, I don't have the contract in front of me.
Okay,
He's the one who had the contract.
Gotcha.
But I signed the contract. So when we're all done, just concerning.
When you said how much do I owe you, did you mean in addition to the insurance check?
In addition to some of the extra work that he had done around the house, also on the roof. He extended the roof over a shed.
Gotcha.
And so I didn't know if I was going to owe him for that. And so we were working
in other
together.
words, you wanted to settle up, and you said, what's the damages?
Said,
right.
So, yeah, exactly. And he said, we're all good. And I said, great. And at that point, I had a guy staying with me that began to work on his van because they met while he was doing the roof. So him and I were all good. He said, we're all good. And I said, great. And from there, a guy that was staying with me started working on his van. And this guy messed his van up. I mean, it was a van. It was a 19.
A guy that was staying with you messed up the roofer's van.
Exactly. He started working on the van, which it was
what
like
kind of work was he doing on the van?
He replaced some sensors because there was a problem. He said at 55, 60 miles an hour out on the highway, it would do a little jerking.
I'm hoping this all ties together. I'm honest to God hoping this all ties together. So far, I got this. So far, I got this. You had a roofer do some work. He was paid $10,000 by your insurance company. You did some work to work off the $755 deductible. And in the meantime, a guy staying with you was working on the roofer's truck.
Exactly.
Now
and
what?
So now him and that guy, they had a big falling out. And he tried to return the van to him, and it wasn't even running very good. He'd messed it up. Like I said, he tried to replace sensors, and the van continued to run worse and worse. So he tried to return the van. The guy said, no, take it back. He fixed this thing. So he showed up. He was looking for the van and wondering how the guy was doing on the van. And the guy that was working on the van, his name's Lloyd. And he came to me. Mike showed up, you know, and the only reason why he came back is because him and Lloyd were dealing
Mike
with
the
van.
roofer came back looking for his van.
Exactly, and he said, so is Lloyd doing the work? And I said, yeah. And at this point, he became more angry and upset. And he had a reason to be upset because this guy, he wasn't doing good work on the van. He really wasn't.
Tie this all together somehow.
Then he looks at me and he goes, you know what? I might have my buddy Rob, which is his right hand man, come back out here and maybe assess and see how much you do owe me. And I'm like, what are you talking about?
I get it. I get it. He was pissed off because your friend, Lloyd, screwed him. So he's going to take it out of your ass.
Exactly. And in November, I received a text message from him. He goes, you know what? Because I kicked the guy out, the Lloyd guy working on his van. I kicked him out, and his van continued to be in my driveway. So I kicked the guy out, and Mike can no longer get a hold of him. The guy went back to being homeless.
Mike, the roofer, is blaming you for the bad van.
Exactly. Since he can't go after
But what does this have to do with the price of potatoes at this point? What's going on?
Wait, is Lloyd homeless?
Is the roofer?
Lloyd is now homeless?
No, well, who cares about Lloyd? All I know is the roofer. Is the roofer now putting a lien on your house? What's he doing?
Exactly. After 2.5 years after the job has been completed, he gave me one text message.
He can't put a lien on 2.5 years later.
Well, he can.
Well, it's going to be useless. You got to put the lien on within a certain amount of time. So wait a minute. During this 2.5 years, did he put a lien on it? When did he put a lien on it?
I just received a summons for court saying that I need to go to court because he has sued me for the $1,800.
Okay.
For the deductible.
I got you. One other thing.
So now,
Robert did a lien.
What's
a
that?
lawsuit is different than a lien.
Yeah, that's right. So that's what I'm saying. He didn't put a lien on your house, Robert. He's just suing you for the balance, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Can I explain something, Robert? Robert.
Yeah.
He's allowed to sue you for the balance.
Right.
Okay. Now, I'm going to tell you that without any written documentation, here's what it's going to come down to. And Robert, I don't care what you think. Here's what it's going to come down to. The contract, and it goes right back to my original question, ding, 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 ding. That's why I asked it. How much was the contract? How much did he get paid? That's all it comes down to. That's it. So you got to find the contract, and if the contract says $12,000 and he was paid from your insurance $10,000, you're going to owe the other $2,000. However, you're going to claim you did some labor for him. You, in essence, was his subcontractor. That's the way that you couch this. You do not try to explain the screwiest deal in the entire universe, nor do you even mention the van, because, Robert, the judge will just kick you the hell out, because the story you're telling makes me want to kick you the hell out, and I want to help you. So you are going about this all wrong, and I promise you, if you hold on, I'm going to tell you exactly how to fight this, exactly how I would fight it, not legally, but logistically, what I would do.
It's Ross Kaminsky. Mornings at 5.
Whoa.
Yeah, how do you like that to start?
That was quite a story.
That was quite a story.
But he said in the end,
Hold on,
Lloyd.
guys. Hold on.
Who cares about
Here we go.
Who cares about Lloyd?
Ideal Home Loans for your next Ideal Home Loan. You know what? I know why you should use Ideal. If for no other reason, they're a direct mortgage lender and can usually beat other lenders by 1/8 of a point or more. And you know how you prove that? Get a comparison. Just ask. That's it. And then make them put it in writing. Ideal Home Loans will put things in writing. Ask the other lenders, because you will get 1/8 of a point or more savings because of a direct lender. And they do other things like credit optimization, an interest rate guarantee, custom term loans where you get the lower rate, but you don't have to go back to 30 years. You pick your own. IdealHomeLoans.com for your next ideal and less expensive home loan. Prove it to yourself. They love comparison. IdealHomeLoans.com. 303-867-7000.
That was 1 minute. You got that shit down. You know.
Yeah.
I think what's going to end up happening, he's going to have to sue Lloyd. Robert's gonna have to sue Lloyd for the money.
Yeah.
Robert?
Yeah.
Why does Robert have to sue Lloyd?
Because I assume Lloyd, he did that to help pay his rent while he was staying there.
No, yeah, but that has nothing to do with the roof.
I know, but the roofer still is owed the $1,700.
Maybe,
right?
maybe he's not.
He may
But
not be.
he didn't get it.
Maybe he's not owed it.
He's gonna have to detail the work he did for the $1,700.
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to be easy for him to detail. But he can't talk about trying to get out of the deductible. That makes him look like a cheat. He's got to talk about it as if I did some work for this guy.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
To bring the bill down.
Yeah.
He did some.
That's what I'm thinking. Lloyd was
he
in
did
on
a
this
lot of
somehow.
work.
And now Lloyd's
the homeowner did a lot of work to work off the deductible. Working off the deductible is different than working with me on the
The
deductible.
van had nothing to do with the deductible.
No.
Okay.
No,
All
no.
these roofing
he
calls
didn't say,
always start
I'm
out-
going to get my friend Lloyd to work on your van if you waive the deductible. No.
Okay.
No, that would have been even fucking...
Why did that story
That would have been...
so long?
Yeah, but they always start out. Like my buddy had a guy who knew a guy who dated a girlfriend who knew a guy who was a roofer. And now I'm being sued. I'm Chan Baker, by the way.
Ted Rowland.
That's
Chad, how you doing? I work for Tom. Caitlin, good to meet you.
There's no way that's
crazy.
a dock. Oh, it is a dock.
Holy cow.
It's literally on the water. Fuck that. It's cool, but I thought that was just the dock. Look at that thing.
That's a little bitty thing.
How do you do that? I mean, do you own the fucking water?
What are you talking about?
Just these homes.
Oh.
That's a lot of water around there.
On the waterfront, you mean?
Yeah.
It's actually in the water.
It's literally in the water. It's
So
like
what
a
do
big
you own?
dock they built a home on.
Florida.
No, this is Louisiana.
You look at land in Louisiana.
The Bayou, man.
Do you know if you went into international waters and built an island, you'd own it?
Until China took it. Be like, hey, get off our shit, and you're gonna do what?
We got oil here. Get out of here.
How far out is international waters?
200 miles now, isn't it?
I have no idea. So it means no one owns it, right?
No.
Look how cheap shit is here.
Used
Look
to
at
be
this
12
weird
miles,
house.
but
Look at the
some countries extended out.
identical garages on both sides.
I wonder why they get a right to extend it.
Right?
5,000 square feet. That's one
Why
house.
would you want that much? That's the Louisiana.
Look how they built it.
Look at that driveway.
It's so bizarre.
Wait, he also pardoned a bunch of other people.
Yeah.
Milken? Holy shit, now that looks terrible.
God, it's so cheap.
Just on the
Nice
surface,
looking
that
house.
looks bad.
What?
Milken.
Why?
Because he was that billionaire financier.
Doesn't look as bad as a Democrat.
Michael Milken.
Who?
That answers why he got rid of Malkovich or whatever his name is. Blagojevich. So he could get rid of other people.
I wonder if you could give me a pardon to be named later.
For what? Oh, to be named later. That'd be fun.
You want to do some stuff?
How much would a pardon? It'd be cool if you could pre-purchase a pardon.
Get out of jail free card.
No, but you know what?
Is there anything they can't pardon?
That's what I was just going to... Does the
murder?
president have carte blanche?
I think so.
He does, pretty much, yeah. I can't think maybe when you can't.
Carte blanche.
That is pretty...
It's scary when you talk about a guy like Trump.
What did you say it was? It's not
Carte
carte.
blanche.
I said carte blanche.
I think it's carte blanche. I don't know how you pronounce it, honestly.
I think it's C-A-R-T-E. Let me see.
You're right.
Now, where is this at? Port.
And you know what's funny is...
Where's Miami?
Yeah, it is. It's carte blanche. And do you know what really it means?
Where'd you own all that Florida property?
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
What was it called?
Bad dreams.
Was it Miami? Where?
Swampland?
It was north of...
Everglades.
No, it was north of Melbourne Beach. Melbourne Beach. Big subdivision. I don't want to
What's
talk
the
about
closest?
No, I don't even want to talk about it. I swear to God. It brings back PTSD. Hi, Tom Martino here with K&H Home Solutions, and we're going to talk about K&H at the Home Show and their newest product. They have, everyone's getting in on the act, man. Everyone's getting in on the act with the hail stuff. The hail-proof and hail-resistant roofs, right? You got...
Yep.
You got EuroShield.
I don't know about everybody, but yeah, we
no, a lot of people. I mean, Excel has their own version. You have a version. I mean, EuroShield's great, and then what did you call it, Chase over at Johnson Construction. They have one.
That's the same product.
Yeah, same product. It's really a good product. Holy crap.
Yeah.
Really. But you know what disappoints me, Ted? They're not giving big enough insurance discounts. They're not. They really should give.
My new one saved me $600 a year.
Oh, it did?
It sure did.
Huh.
I was told by Compass it wasn't really that much of a discount.
Well, I think, this is still a relatively new product. So I think once they see some evidence that it really works.
I want to, you don't get into these things with, you don't let homeowners do partial work or work off deductibles, do you?
No, you just get sticky.
You can't. Well, Robert, here's the way I want you to fight this, okay? This is if you were my brother or me, I would tell you how I would do it, okay? This is not legal advice because it's not a legal strategy. You're just getting too convoluted and too complicated. Please don't bring up the car repair or anything or what you think the motivation is of the contractor, okay? Really, here's the problem. Judges, we think judges and police want to hear stories, and they don't. They want things explained to them in a very simple way. And I believe your story, by the way, because you can't make it up. So here's the deal. You had that this guy was basically doing your roof, and you were going to work off the deductible. That's really what you were doing. He got paid for stuff he didn't do.
Exactly.
But you need a copy of the contract. And you're going to say, now, if the contract happens to be the same amount that he got paid, you're going to be fine. If it's not, whatever balance there is, let's say the contract amount is $12,000 and he was paid $10,000 and there's a $2,000 difference, okay?
Okay.
Now, what you're going to say is, Your Honor, I have this contract, and you'll notice that he was going to get paid $12,000 for this, 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 and this. However, he only did this. The agreement we had that I was going to do this and this and this and work for him in exchange for the deductible I would owe him. You're working off the deductible. You're not making a secret deal behind the insurance company's back. Do you get the difference?
Yes, I do.
Okay. It's so easy to explain because now the guy would have to say, no, he didn't do that work. And you can clearly show you did that work, right?
Right.
Good.
I have receipts and everything, yeah.
Exactly. So you keep it simple, stupid. It's KISS. Okay. Keep it simple and stupid. So that's what you do. Don't get into your story. The judge will roll his eyes and kick your ass out because by default, you need to pay.
I had one other question.
Yeah.
The fact that I never received a bill in 2.5 years, not one.
Technically, they have 6 years to collect. Now, listen. You're going to say you didn't receive one. He's going to say he sent you several invoices. That is not an excuse. People use it all the time. I'm trying to give you a solid argument, not something easily shot down. Here's why he can't easily shoot down your argument. He can shoot down the invoice. Oh, I did bill him. In fact, Your Honor, I went there several times to get paid, and he told me to jump in the lake. What you say is this, Your Honor, here is the contract. You can clearly see it outlines painting, siding, and the garage door. He did not do that. I have witnesses and receipts that I did these items in order to work off the deductible. I don't owe him that because I worked for him. Now, the worst case scenario, Your Honor, is he should give me a 1099 for it, and I'll gladly pay the tax. You just be completely forthright because you want to put him in a position where he has to try to explain why you bought paint and siding for your own house when it was on his contract. Do you see?
Yes.
Okay. Don't get screwed up. Don't get screwed up.
And I can ask them. I can ask his lawyer's attorney for a copy of the contract. Am I right?
Of course you can. Well, of course you can, but he doesn't have to give it to you. He really doesn't technically have to give it to you, but you really should ask for it. You mean to tell me you can't get a copy of that somewhere? You don't have one?
I don't have a copy of the contract.
But you said something that distresses me. This is not small claims court. He has an attorney.
Right.
All right. Let me tell you something. Mark, tell him what happens even if he is right.
You lose.
Sometimes. They can outmaneuver you. I'm serious, Robert. You can be so outmaneuvered because even if you have a contract that shows us, he'll say, Your Honor, we dispute that contract, or that shouldn't be entered into evidence, or there's going to be some rule or something that you screw up. We have seen cases where the defendant was actually right. They were right, and they lost.
Should I hire an attorney?
Unfortunately, I would be a fool not to tell you that. I'm telling you, Robert, but even with your attorney, keep the story simple. Don't go into your story about the mechanic and he was mad at his van. And I mean, you can, but here's the bottom line with your attorney. I had an agreement to work off the deductible, and I worked it off. This is what I did. And we didn't put it in writing, and you know, that's why he hadn't come after me for 2 years. Okay.
Robert, do you have a copy of the insurance report?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll help.
That'll help for sure. So listen, Robert, I would talk to him.
And I added it up for the work for everything else. It came to $2,235.
Good. Then what you need to do, it wouldn't be a bad idea to get an attorney and just keep it simple. But you know what? Here's the fool part. It's going to cost you more to fight the damn thing.
But for me, it would be worth it.
Good.
Not to pay him for principal.
Good. Because here's why.
Him that money.
You may want to ask for attorney's fees, saying, you know what, he knew this, Your Honor, it's egregious. You may get attorney's fees. I'm not saying you would, but you might. Mark, should we send him somebody, an attorney that would take this, you think, like this, or do you hesitate because our attorneys all have their own little specialty? What about the guy you know, Dan? Would he take this? You think that guy who likes helping the underdog?
Boy, I don't know. He's more real estate.
I know, but what do you think? Do you think he'd ever even entertain it? Look, we're going to give you a referral off the air. If you can't get to him right now to talk to him, let's take his number off the air. Hold on, Robert. We'll try to get you some people who want to help you. Chuck, what's going on with you, Chuck?
Hey, Tom.
What's happening?
Oh, we got a trash company that won't pick up our trash.
You know what? We happen to have 2 complaints about this from you and from Kathleen as well. Are you guys related? Do you know each other? Or do you live in the same area? Kathleen, what area do you live in?
I live in Centennial.
Where do you live, Chuck?
In Lakewood.
Holy crap. And you're both talking about Waste Connection?
On the south edge of Applewood.
And you're both talking about Waste Connections.
Yeah, they've got 2 names. They Waste Connection and Pro Disposal.
What's going on with
Disposal?
Yeah.
I was going to say Pro Disposal was initially the trash company, and then Waste Connections has bought them out.
How long have you guys had trouble?
2 weeks.
How about you, Kathleen?
I would say yes. It's been a week and a half.
Okay, so something's going on clearly. Hold on. I'm going to put Deputy Slim on it to go investigating this company.
This is Denver's talk station.
Same thing happened to Stacy and I.
Let's find out what's going on with the Waste Connections.
Yeah.
I want Slim to call them and see what's going on. Or did you already? You didn't call, did you?
I think they're all owned by Waste Management, I think.
There's a couple of trouble spots to watch out for when you're driving across town. For the most part, you're going to be in decent shape. Just on the highway drive, pretty much wide open across town.
I want to give her. I just want to. Somebody told me why you do it. I just want to give you my 2 cents. The 30% savings and an extra 10% if you go to the show. Just my personal opinion, nothing else.
Shan, go ahead.
I would rather spend my advertising to get people to call me directly for the 30% savings and not give them an incentive to go to the show to get an extra 10% because you're now exposing them to all your competition. Right. That's my personal opinion. Your advertising, if 30% is good for them, then they're going to call you. If the extra 10% means that much, that means they're looking for anything and that means they're going to be going there. And once they're there,
they see everybody else.
To me, it just dilutes what you're doing. That's just my personal opinion.
Tommy, real quick. Now on desktop, it actually says they saw this message when Chuck called last week. I reached out to them, and then today I said we're updating this problem live today. Does someone want to comment? I verified they've seen it, and no one gets back to me. They have our phone number, our cell phone. So I don't know. I was hoping we could see if our listener friends might help.
Okay. All right. Let's do it. I see what you're saying. All right. So in other words, we've already reached out to them. They're ignoring us. That we can say that, okay?
Twice.
Gotcha.
It's the old ignore.
That's what they did to Stacy and I.
General, how much time do I have in this break?
You know, give you that 30%. So raising a child can cost over $200,000.
I'll just wait.
Seriously.
Well, something to talk about.
Yeah.
The home show's coming up anyway, but
Edelman Financial Engines. Call 888-PLAN-RIG to get started.
you just want these. We've always been reluctant to direct people to the home show.
The other angle would be
because everybody else is there. So.
Asking our listener friends if they know anyone in upper management that we could talk to at Waste Connections. So there's two ways if you want to go about it. You know what I mean? All right.
It got so bad with us, we had to actually switch to another company.
Yeah, that's the biggest thing. I did the same thing.
Because when you call this company, Pro Disposal, it rolls over to Waste Connections, and then you're on hold for like 45 minutes.
Or mention my name, Tom Martino. Either way, you get an extra 10% savings. That's 40% off energy-efficient windows, siding, and doors. This month only. KHWindows.com or drop by the Denver Garden and Home Show.
If you're an HR, you're probably wearing a lot of hats. Recruiter, team builder, trainer, mediator, policymaker, and of course, English teacher. But not anymore. Bamboo HR is
Oh my God, you're built 1952.
What's that one?
It's just Lake House. I can't imagine something that old.
I can't believe I have not heard from Vector.
Well, if it's only for $1,700 or $1,800, if it goes to district court, won't the judge kick it back down?
No, they don't necessarily do
really?
that.
Okay.
You know
What are you talking about? On
His,
what?
if they're suing him for $1,800.
Who?
This roofer guy,
This stupid
Leon.
Story
For $2 grand.
No, they won't kick it down.
They
No.
won't?
No.
Why would they do that just to
Kick it
save
where?
time? It's a small claim.
They should.
I've never heard of them doing that. Once you retain an attorney, you're in court.
They should, because a lot of times people file in higher courts to intimidate you.
Exactly.
Well, what they do is they push you into mediation before it goes to court.
You're
Even in
right.
the district?
He is going to get a chance. I should have mentioned that.
Yeah.
They're going to probably make him do that. You're right.
They do that in small claims too.
Well, no, not Denver doesn't.
Really?
What do you
No,
mean?
Denver goes right to court.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh, they don't?
They don't have no mediation. Denver Small Claims Court? I don't know about the district court.
Mark,
Small
did you know
Claims
that,
Court.
Mark?
Jefferson County pushes
Denver.
for mediation.
And they should. They should, because they want to keep it out of court. But Denver, I think they need, they're trying to give these judges jobs.
They need something to do.
This guy's like, when I was like 75
But in district court they
years
will.
old.
In district court they'll tell you to mediate
Do they?
before you even have a court date. Yeah. I can't speak about any specific court.
It's just that every court is so different. When I, like I said, I thought I was going to go to mediation also. Boom, right to court.
Their progress is made possible with the help of clinical trials. Clinical trials.
Here we go. Fort Lauderdale. Where's that at?
Florida.
Is that by Miami?
And if you
What are you looking to buy some land?
That is,
Beach house.
I believe it's close to the Gulf side of Fort Lauderdale. No, maybe not.
Okay, guys, I got this coming up.
Fort Lauderdale is guaranteed no damage, right?
FixMyHome.com. That's the website, okay? So no matter what, you go there, because here's the deal. It's only for the next 10 people. Now, you can call as well. $29 for a complete furnace refurbishment, which is a cleaning and adjusting, and that is a complete cleaning. Now, if they really clean it, and they do, it's incredible, because dirt's the #1 killer. So here's what you do. You watch them. They're going to spend 2 hours or more on this thing. and you're going to be amazed. They normally do it for $39, which is hundreds of dollars cheaper than others. Now they're going to do it for the next 10 people for $29. $29 for the next 10 people. 720-526-3939.
Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hey, Jan?
Yes, sir.
This guy. Oh.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Listen, you've heard me talk about SaferNet. And I've done a lot of investigating on this because a lot of people are saying, Tom, it's too good to be true, blah, blah, blah. Let me explain this, and I'm going to try to put it as simply as possible. SaferNet is a private network filter that all internet traffic goes through in your home or business, and it protects you. And it doesn't affect your speed at all. I have it on my computer right now. You download an app, you simply hit on, and the protection is turned on. That means, listen what I said, you can't be harmed by a virus, by malware, or by ransomware. You can put it on one computer or all your computers. For a small business, it's a must. Like K&H Home Solutions, for example, they could get a ransom note saying, we encrypted all your data. You got to pay $50,000. A hospital could get that. Anyone can get that. This filters all web traffic and makes you immune to all of that. Now, people say, but wait a minute, Tom, what if a local computer, there is no definition, and they click on something and it downloads to that computer? In the rare instance that they do not have the definitions, the latest definitions, by the way, they have the same definitions as Amazon and Google and all those. But let's just say one sneaks through. Even in that case, it's not allowed to communicate outside of that computer, which means it's isolated to one machine. That is worst case scenario. So your data can never be corrupted system-wide. Your server's protected. Everything's protected. And it is an unbelievable service. Get this. It's only $3.99 per device at the most you'll pay. It goes down for more. But the most you're going to pay is $3.99 for a computer or a cell phone to be protected. SaferNet.com. If you have a company, if you have a home and it's not protected, there's no reason in the world you wouldn't get it. It's SaferNet.com. SaferNet.com. You can even control the amount of time your kids browse, where they browse, any controls you want. And it's all encrypted, which means your passwords, your account numbers, all of that is protected. No one can read or intercept your stuff. There's no other answer. SaferNet.com. It's like one of the best things I've ever marketed. So what do we do about this company? We've tried calling. Guess what, guys? We have Chuck in one neighborhood, and we got in a completely different neighborhood, Kathleen, both talking about Waste Connections or Waste Connection. And guess what? They don't care. We have left messages for them, and they don't get back to us. Suzanne, did we ever hear anything at all? Ever?
Not a word, Tom. They have my cell phone. They have my backline. And also, there's a ton of bad reviews on. They used to be Pro Disposal, and I guess they sold out to Waste Connections. And since then,
is Waste Connections going out of business or what?
They're just not picking up trash, so people are not getting resolved. They're just switching trash companies,
Did
Tom.
you guys, hey, Chuck and Kathleen, either one of you, did you guys pay in advance?
Yes.
Yes, I paid for the entire year.
Did you pay by credit card?
No,
Yeah.
I gave him a check.
Okay.
Oh, I think I did a check too.
Okay, that's bad news. Damn it. I was hoping you did credit cards because you could for sure contest the credit card.
Okay.
And that's what you do in the future. But meanwhile, you guys hold on, because here's what we're going to do. We're going to go to war against Waste Connections. This is a lousy, good-for-nothing, scum-sucking company of leeches who take money and offer nothing in return for the last 2 weeks. Here's their phone number. I recommend you bombard them to let them know they can't get away with it. Waste Connections. They cannot get away with it. It's amazing to me how companies believe they can come into an area, take a bunch of money, and do nothing. The reason they do that in Colorado and certain states is because of how weak our laws are and how weak our lawmakers are and how weak our law enforcement is. Because most of the time, consumer crimes are not punished. Most of the time. But Waste Connection needs to hear from us. 303-288-2100. Will we get voicemail? What do we get, Suzanne, when you call that number? What do you get? 303-288-2100.
I think it's perpetual holding. I sent
Does anyone
messages.
answer? Does anyone answer? No. Huh? Let's say, let me just try. Okay, so 303-288-2100. Just stand by just in case someone answers, but this is Waste Connections.
Thank you for calling Waste Connections. If you are calling because you received a letter or a call from us, please go to www.wcdenver.com/schedule or download our mobile app, Waste Connect, from the App Store to get more information.
Please have all cans at the curb by 7 a.m. on service day to ensure pickup.
Yeah, why? That's what.
Thank you for calling Waste Connections of Colorado. If you would like to make a payment, please press 1.
Yeah.
For commercial or roll-off, press 2. For residential service, press 3. For all other needs, please press 4.
Suzanne, be ready here. Oh, it's perpetual. Yeah. This is where you get perpetual. Guess nothing we can do. We just listen to the music. So there's no place we can leave a message, right? So we can't even leave a message. So telling people to call does no good because we can't even leave a message. 303-288-2100. Angie, you got a comment. What's going on with you, Angie?
They've been all over the news.
Yeah.
People have been complaining. They're not picking up trash anywhere.
I think they're out of business or they're going out of business. But they have the nerve to answer their phones and to say, if you want to make a payment. I mean, that's crazy. Yep, all over the news, our latest scumbags, Waste Connections. We got more coming right up.
Now, impact traffic.
That's a 44,000. No, this RJ says the month they get him is 620.
Alright, I'll call this guy back.
You might want to talk to her. Or I'm sorry, something says something to the tune of 650.
650. That's more than what they were originally going to charge him. 626 is what the original bill was.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought there was more because they had
Well, they're waiving all storage fees, and they're waiving the crate position sensor. I'll call my guy back here in a minute.
You can do it after the show, too.
Oh, okay.
Right now, cloudy and 31. With your impact traffic weather, Angie Wagner on 630 K-House.
I'm so bad.
Where's that one at? That's nice.
I'm so bad. It's just ridiculous.
Lake of the Ozarks.
It's bad.
Or Missouri, I'm not sure.
Don't make the mistake of listening to your friends or neighbors when it comes to a car accident, traffic accident. Go to the expert we know and trust, John Fuller. Now, I'm serious, okay? So many people say, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that, don't do this, don't do that. Just call John Fuller. Of course, take care of your medical needs. Document everything you can. You know, take pictures with your phone. But call John Fuller and say, listen, this is the situation. What should I do? John Fuller is a great guy. He will listen, or he has someone who will listen, and they will go over it and let you know if there's anything they can do. And they're truthful. 303-597-4500. PersonalInjuryCO.com.
When you don't know what tomorrow will bring, you should be prepared for whatever it does bring. That's something.
There's no dock, though. That's odd, isn't it?
On his.
Yeah, everybody's got a dock but that one.
You want something that's on the waterfront?
Yeah. You got ideas? Cheap to fly to, though, too. I know, it's beautiful. Look, it's the only grass in the whole thing.
How isolated do you want it?
Don't care. Something I can rent out when I'm not there.
There's a big area called Innsbruck out east of St. Louis.
What's it called?
Innsbruck. And,
It's a lake?
There's a couple lakes there.
Like big ones?
Decent sized ones, yeah.
Innsbruck.
It'd be nice to have a place you go.
How do you spell it?
I don't know if it's one or two N's on that.
And where is it, St. Louis?
It's east of St. Louis, probably about an hour.
Innsbruck Resort, a Midwest lake community. Missouri. Oh, that is a nice look. Discover St. Louis' best kept secret. You better keep your mouth shut, Ted.
Yeah, Ted. Spreading it around, Ted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever go to Lake of the Ozarks?
Oh, yeah.
You
Brought the
did?
kids there, of course.
You liked it?
Well, you go there with the kids is great. Table Rock Lake and the lakes out there are great, but the Ozarks, man, it's some kind of weird fucking Disneyland down there.
Oh, man.
There's some really bizarre people down there.
Deliverance type?
Yep.
Yes, sir.
You got
100%.
it.
Banjo playing, no teeth.
You probably run into a lot of relatives down there.
That's right.
You should open up a dental shop there.
Hey, would you rather play today? You want to? Because then I can do yoga with her tomorrow. Because she's getting her hair done.
We still got a lot left over.
Oh, let's make sure we can see if you can get a hold of old Lion Larry. Or Lion Jim.
What are you playing?
Dan and I are going to start nicknaming people just like Trump. Slow-witted Ted.
Different Ted.
Crazy
Does the president only do pardons one time a year or something?
No. I think he can pardon
They
on
usually
a
do
whim.
it just before they leave office.
Yes, exactly.
So they don't take shit
That's
for
true. That's true.
it. Not Trump.
He takes shit anyway. So.
He does it on weekends. We're going. I won't be here Thursday. I'll be at the rally, man. I'm bringing my daughter down.
I tell you what, you're gonna be waiting on us to dress warm.
I will. I got my snow. I'll throw our snow outfits in for.
Also, the former 49ers owner, they're going to say he did all his rich buddies. That's what they're going to say.
That's why he's throwing some Dems in there, some liberals.
Well, the one guy he pardoned.
You know who really got it?
Michael,
you know who he should really do?
What's his name?
Someone
Got
like
dementia.
Ted Bundy or somebody.
He also did police commissioner.
Bernie Carrick?
Yeah.
He did?
Throw in a
That's
Charles
good one.
Manson. You know, come on.
What did he
Then
get?
they won't even look at the other ones.
Some sort of racketeering or something.
Hey, look at our own governor here, basically let Nathan Dunlap off.
Obama's trying to take credit for the strong economy. He said it's what he did.
And that he should.
It's really all his policies that were in place.
It's all his policies.
That he inherited.
Yes.
So I kept on hitting.
And the only way to continue.
Ted in the office, not you, Ted.
This is a nice.
President Trump ripped former President Obama for pulling a con job after he touted his own involvement in the current economic boom.
Yeah. Look at that, Dano.
11 years ago today, near
There's
the
some
bottom
shit
of the
in,
worst
Wisconsin
recession in
that's
generations, I
gorgeous,
signed the
just so
Recovery
cool
Act,
down
paving
here.
the way. Yep. Mark.
Yeah.
He's claiming the Recovery Act is what did it, paving the way for more than a decade of economic growth.
Is the
and the
Recovery Act
longest streak of job creation
shovel-ready
in
jobs.
American history.
They forgot to shovel.
Yeah, they forgot to shovel.
Trump responded, trying to take credit.
Even
Well,
he
he
said
did have a good con
Did you hear the latest con job? President Obama
in
is
his
now
speech,
trying.
he said, I guess they weren't quite shovel ready.
Yeah.
That's what he had said.
They weren't quite shovel ready. Ted, this is a
Sorry,
cool
what?
Hi, Tom Martino. You are a
you go there?
troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK.
Somebody did
Suzanne,
right
is there
here.
anything new on 3?
I didn't get the comments. I've been busy.
Okay. Did we take you already, Chuck? Are you one of the many people
He's the
getting?
client.
You're getting screwed by Waste Connection as well?
Yes, you bet.
How? When? Where?
Oh, that they haven't picked up for 2 weeks, and we're right on the south end of Applewood, just off Colfax in Lakewood.
That's a common area, and we are getting calls, and we are trying to get in touch with their corporate. Bo, what about you?
Yes, Tom, I'm having the same trouble with Waste Connections. I actually called them today and said, you guys haven't picked up my trash.
You actually talked to someone, Bo?
Yes.
Where did you talk to them?
Well, it sounded like it was out of state, but I just called the number on my bill.
Yeah, and what did they say?
Well, they said, well, you should have received a letter that we changed the pickup date from Friday to Tuesday. And I said, well, that's fine and dandy, but my trash has been sitting out there for 2 weeks. So if you came on Tuesday, it didn't happen because my trash is still full.
A week from next Tuesday. Yeah, and then that never comes. I'll gladly pay you on Wednesday. Aaron, what about you? Same thing?
Is that me, Tom?
Yeah.
Tom?
Yes, sir.
No, actually, we used to have a small company that picked up our trash, Ace Carting. It was bought out by Waste Connections. And they were horrible before they were bought out, and they continued to be horrible.
Oh,
So
that's good. Consistency.
I actually found the email for the CEO of Waste Connections.
Oh!
I emailed him on a Sunday morning. By Sunday afternoon, there was a guy there emptying the dumpster by hand.
I want you to give Suzanne that email. We're going to email. We're going to do an email campaign.
I can do that. I have it. And I've actually contacted him one other time, and the same thing happened. Someone was
This
there and they
is
unloaded it.
wonderful, folks. Did you hear that? Suzanne, get that from Aaron right now, then put it up on the screen. Man, that's cool. Now, hold on. What to Kevin? Are you actually getting your trash picked up, Kevin?
Yeah, it was probably 3 weeks ago. I get my trash picked up on Wednesday, and I was just bringing it out, and a Waste Connection truck pulled up, and I said, "Are you taking over for Pro Disposal?" And he said, "Yes." And I haven't had a problem since.
Really?
Now they're going to pick it up. Yeah, and they'll pick it up again tomorrow. But if they don't pick it up, I will let you know. And I live in Green Mountain.
Okay. Wow, this is weird.
Maybe we should have people bring their trash over to Kevin's place.
Yeah. Hold on. Kevin, let us know, please. Let us know. You know, this is weird. We're getting some indication that they're still alive. They changed some dates. One guy even talked to someone. Now we're going, and then one guy said he got a response when he emailed the president. And we're going to get that email. That's going to be incredible because apparently it actually went to someone who responded. So I'm going to give out the email. I'm going to ask you not to be vulgar, be right to the point. You know, your Waste Connection scumbags have taken my money and not provided service. You can't get away with it. What's going on? That kind of thing. 303-713-TALK. We'll also talk more about home solutions, exteriors, and what to look out for. What is happening with your siding? If you don't, you know, this Everlast siding thing, people think I exaggerate when I talk about it. I'm telling you, man, this stuff you can build a ship out of. We got more coming up on the Troubleshooter Show. Stick around, 303-713-TALK. We're going to give out the email for Waste Connections coming up. If you are accused of a crime... Okay. That's beautiful. This guy has a two-part card. So anyway, I don't know.
Goes on Clemency Street.
I might be a person for Slim.
Yes, sir.
I'm thinking that these people are going to respond once we do it.
Once we do a
bombardment
blanket campaign for them?
on the we do that bombardment.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's a good time to engage in white-collar crime with Trump around.
Shoot. Today has flown by for some reason.
Yeah, not bad.
Mark, your kiddos live at home?
Yep.
Lucky devil.
Yeah.
No, I've got one daughter off and one fixing to go off, and
He didn't pardon him.
he just commuted. He's got him out of prison.
Yeah. Time served, basically.
Yeah.
That's a little different than a full pardon.
So is it pretty much the same way to get to the bathroom these days?
No, go right. Don't go right.
All the way around?
They go right.
Yep, all the way around.
Yeah. Tell me your name one more time.
Caitlin.
Caitlin, you spend a lot of time on the roof, girl?
On the roof?
They do mostly siding. And
Oh,
windows.
siding.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I never go up there. I'm the marketing manager.
Oh, I was just joking with you.
We're getting ready for the home showdown. I've been wearing heels every day, so I gotta remind myself to not wear heels to work tomorrow. But those wouldn't work out very well.
That's a Super Bowl for you guys.
Yeah,
That's
is.
huge.
What'd you get?
That's awesome.
234.
Oh, good man.
Quarter
Did
two.
We
Did
go
you
every
talk to
year.
Lion
We just
Sleazy
love it.
Jim?
Yeah, it's big.
It's Peter, he actually says.
Seems to get bigger every year.
This is beautiful.
Yeah,
Look at
Yeah,
this.
sweet.
Where's that at
did.
now? St.
So
Louis?
Table Rock Lake,
now we
In where?
see how it
Missouri.
all plays out.
I love
Yeah.
Table Rock.
Yeah.
Beautiful lake.
Really?
It's even got a fucking.
It's got a
Are
horse?
you going
It's
this
got
year?
comes with a
Yeah, we're
horse.
going.
Comes with a horse?
We're
It's
taking
a-
my
it's a big
mother-in-law
son of a
this
bitch.
year. No. We're
It's,
just,
oh,
we just
you
go.
do?
Yeah,
Oh,
we
okay,
just
got
go. I work for Tom. We
Right,
don't.
okay.
4,500 square feet.
But you don't want a big lake.
What?
Bigger
We're
lake,
in a
you get
mood.
wind,
We're
you get big waves.
gonna buy a hot tub
That's
this
the bad
year.
thing about it.
I
This
think
one
that's
kind
what
of
I was
sits
at
up.
mine,
This
too.
whole house kind
It's
of.
gonna be kind of our yearly
Another thing you
treat.
might want to look at too.
And,
looking at the lake
Look
is-
how this house sits up, though.
I'm paralyzed from the
gorgeous,
knees down,
Yeah, it is.
and the neuropathy that I suffer from,
You might want to look there. Not
being
only that,
soaked in
it's
hot
like the
water
lakes
like that, it
when
just
you've
makes
got- are getting muscles in it.
wonderful difference.
Table Rock. I've been to the lake. It's gorgeous.
All I'm saying is if you
Oh,
got
it helps with
lake and muscles
everything.
in,
My wife loves
stroke
it.
What's it do?
victim and it helps
it takes
him.
over you can't
Oh
go
yeah,
out.
it's incredible.
Oh, you mean swimming?
Right. They take over the bottom
Yeah,
lake,
oh,
they're
yeah.
real
It
sharp
helps
and
him with
stuff.
that, and
I didn't know that.
yeah.
Yeah, we love it, and we had
My
one.
lakes back home are
We lived in Reunion, out east of town.
Oh, look at that. That's
Moved to
gorgeous.
Texas. I got transferred to Texas. I got transferred back up
They
here,
must get wind.
Okay.
That's what it tells
and we miss our hot
That's why
tub
they
some
build that
beautiful.
out, 'cause it washes the shore out and you gotta build that stuff up.
Yeah, it's a nice thing to
You don't
have.
want wind. The
We're
place has
gonna
got a
look
lot
into
of
it
wind.
too.
Not a ton of wind.
It's just terrible. I will have to stop. You brought your stuff, I take it,
When I have
right?
I have a break, I'll go and
I gotta stop home and get mine.
go and check them out.
This thing's not even that old. Holy shit, man! 16 acres.
For what?
Wow.
What's
With a house?
This house.
Where?
Table Rock Lake, man.
Why are you looking at houses?
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna buy some real estate. I just don't know where.
For renting?
I might rent it out a little, but I'm looking at just
Cool place to escape.
place you can fly cheap. Like Florida's cheap.
Oh,
as shit.
you're looking for a second house, you mean?
Yeah, let friends and shit use it, but I want it on the lake.
A lake where?
I don't care really, as long as it's cheap to fly to. Florida's like $50 to fly to, man.
Is it really?
Oh, Florida's got
Yeah.
beautiful deals, great deals.
That's crazy. If you want to fly Frontier and leave,
No,
like
I'm
it's-
talking about the Florida real estate.
Oh.
It's good deals.
Oh yeah.
If you do, you just don't want to do Atlantic side, huh?
I wouldn't.
The Gulf side is prettier.
Yeah.
But I'm saying the hurricanes over there. Usually the Gulf doesn't get
Get it as
Gulf or
bad.
England or-
I can't believe how many acres this.
But if you're on a big lake in Florida,
Jesus Christ.
gotta
that,
pick your poison.
That thing flood, that guy's
See,
inside.
that tip is really low.
Well, can
That
you
kind of
imagine
build up
the
there tells me-
distress
look at that
you're
dike
dealing with on
That
that?
tells me that they got waves.
That's a different one. That's not Table Rock. I don't know what that one was.
You want to talk about built?
Branson
the way those
Airport.
are built, people live through that shit.
Oh, I know, it's incredible.
Oh, that's really good.
200 miles an hour, upside
Branson
down.
Airport's
flying
probably
through
small as shit.
It is.
What was that one that Ted said again?
Damn,
the air. See, look at that crap right there. He got run over upside down.
It's something.
That's where this one was, I think. Let me see.
Look at that burst.
No, this is Lake of the Ozarks.
So a lot of times they build that up for wind or ice.
I gotta
There's
have
ice pushing up there too.
Damn.
That could have exploded.
Hey, but you can go ice
That's been
fishing.
horrible.
Love ice. I don't get enough ice where I live now. Need more ice. Table Rock would be easy to rent out. Hey, Ted, what was that place called again you were talking about?
Innsbruck.
Innsbruck.
Yeah, I said it's.
I think it's INN.
Yeah, I got it.
BROOK.
You know, I knew there was more to it than this simple stock market. Obama, that Recovery Act, he
put in over
thrust us into economic recovery for 10 years.
You got shovel-ready jobs. You got it all.
Yes, you do.
Well, he did hand off a decent economy to Trump.
Well, he's claiming it's the reason for the season. It's why we have the economy we do.
Of course, it has nothing to do with tax cuts.
Asset protection is
Well, you know, everybody plays politics.
Hey, Ted, that helped you out pretty good, that corporate tax cut when they dropped it down 20%.
Your net is 100,000 or more. You need
Not
protection.
really.
Really? Who does it help out?
MileHighEstatePlanning.com.
People that are better off than me.
Oh.
Big corporations, for sure.
You have to, Ted says you got to make money first.
And lots of it.
Can you believe that? The lowest debt, the reason there's such low minority unemployment is because of the policies that Obama put into.
Yeah.
He's just reaping the benefits. See, when are people going to realize it? Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Here we are, solving problems, answering questions, and taking complaints and making your life a little easier. All you have to do is call. K&H Home Solutions in the house. Now, if you have a problem, call us. We have open lines for the first time today. We've been dealing with all kinds of weird problems. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. This hour brought to you by DenverTrialLawyers.com, the place to go for catastrophic injuries. You don't have to worry about what it is. You don't have to define it. Call them. If there's ever anything you don't understand, you know, they got a $70 million verdict, for example, on a on a birth injury. They have judgments, verdicts, and mediated settlements. DenverTrialLawyers.com, and all of those equaling into the hundreds of millions of dollars. DenverTrialLawyers.com. Do you think when we talk about attorneys that we encourage lawsuits? I don't think so. I think a good attorney knows how to discourage lawsuits. I really do. I think a good attorney, I think, in fact, one of the worst things you could have is a bad attorney. They're the ones that drum up legal bills, and they're the ones that don't know when to say goodbye. They'll just take someone's money. Someone wants to sue out of anger. They'll take the money and then tell them, oh, yeah, we have a good chance of winning. That's a bad attorney. Good attorneys look at cases for their merits and say, you know what? Really, it's not worth it. We shouldn't do it. Let's not bother. What about you? Have you ever had an experience with a good attorney that would not sue and said, no, we shouldn't sue? It would be a bad idea to sue. We have... I
think a good attorney should try and try and get it settled.
You know, good attorneys do that. They don't spiral up the conflict. But some of them know that when they spiral it up, they make more money that way because it keeps them in court.
Of course.
But I've really had great experience with attorneys. That's the good news. I mean, I really have. Where attorneys, they know the limitations, they know the law, and they say, you know what? This isn't worth fighting, or this is worth fighting, or this is what we should do, or this is what we shouldn't do. Hey, Scott, you want to talk about an ex-wife here? 303-713-TALK, anyone, or 303-MARTINO. No matter when you're listening, you can call that 24/7, 303-627-8466. What's going on, Scott?
Hey, Tom, I love your show. Love what you do for
Thank you,
everybody
man.
here in Colorado.
What's going on?
So, situation is, I'm actually still married, but we've been separated for 2.5 years. She abandoned me and the children, moved out 2.5 years ago, and now is coming and she's run up a bunch of credit card debt, been trying to force me to sell the house, but she doesn't, hasn't had the court
Oh
do that
man,
yet.
you should have done something about it when she abandoned you guys. So that was 2.5 years
She
ago.
still is. Yeah, she's still gone. Still is.
I understand that. It would have been what I'm saying is that she's coming back trying to get what was hers. See, what I'm saying is had you filed for divorce, you would have put an end to that accumulation of wealth.
I did file for divorce, Tom.
Oh.
But she didn't participate. I filed for divorce in August of 2017.
Well, hold on. Then there was an economic stay. When you said she did not participate, what do you mean?
Never showed up to anything. I've had restraining orders out on her.
Was the divorce granted?
No, she never would provide anything, and then they just dropped it because they didn't have any information. So it just
That's weird.
died.
That's weird. Because
that worked in my best interest because I let it just die. Maybe it was me because I had the house and the kids, so who cares?
No, right? I know. Well, here's the problem. The increase in value of the house she participates in so long as she's married to you.
Right. I get it. And I get that I owe half. She owes half. Or I owe her half. We've been married over 20 years. My concern now is she's run up $35,000 credit card debt. And what she's trying to do now is she's going to file bankruptcy on her own.
Is she, hold on, Scott, is she using cards that you guys had jointly?
No, I severed everything when she left.
Well,
we had good credit then.
I just need to make sure the cards that she's racking up debt, they're only in her name.
Only.
Okay.
Correct.
Now, as far as bankruptcy goes, how much equity in that house?
Well, she thinks there's $200,000. I have an appraisal that says there's about $115,000.
Okay. As a married couple, you guys can preserve. No, but as a married couple, you guys can preserve a certain amount of equity if she does a bankruptcy.
Correct. 75.
As a couple?
Yes.
Okay, I think it's actually more, but okay, let's say 75,000. Here's the deal. The bankruptcy will affect you because, she's going to have a part of the house. I don't know if they can force you to sell it though.
That's what I'm trying to prevent. My kids are in the house now. They're 18 and 19, but they're going to college right down the street from my house. And so she's trying to force me to sell the house on the divorce. And I just wondered any advice you had.
Let's call one of our attorneys, Suzanne, our family attorneys. Here's another question, Scott. When she left, did she just leave one day and she was gone?
Correct.
Did she leave a note?
I wouldn't let her back in the house unless she promised to stop drinking. Social service. My kid went to his guidance counselor. We're a normal couple, 26 years, but she has a drinking problem. My kid went to his guidance counselor at school. Social service showed up at our door and told me about the issue. And I told her, okay, look, no more drugs, no more drinking, no nothing in this house. We're going to get our life right.
Scott, hold on a second. 1 sec. I got to take Evan, who identified he is the district manager for Waste Connections, because we are getting so many phone calls. Hold on. I'll come right back to you. Meanwhile, Suzanne, if you can get Bonnie Shields or someone for divorce, Evan Sharp, district manager of Waste Connections. Evan, sir, hello. We have been getting, as you imagine, and it's been in the news, what is going on with Waste Connections? Is it a company on its way out?
No, sir. No, not at all. We actually just underwent a huge reroute, which caused people's service days to change. We did this for several reasons. The main reason is to be more efficient, put less trucks on the street. But as you can imagine, when we change people's service days, it creates confusion. And not just confusion for our customers, but also for some of our drivers. They're in areas that they're not as familiar with. And so there are some service issues that we're working through. I know the last 2 weeks, we've had a lot of call volume, which has caused people to sit on hold for a little while. But I'm happy to say that today we're in a good place. We've got hold times less than 10 minutes. We knew it was going to be a struggle for the last 2 weeks as we continue to kind of work through those issues. But unfortunately, this reroute had to be done in order to make it more efficient for our drivers and our trucks that are out there.
But there are people that claim they haven't been picked up in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'd like to look into each of those individually and kind of find out what's going on. Maybe it is a driver issue. Maybe it's the time they're putting out the trash. That's a big thing. Some of these customers are used to a certain driver being in their area at, say, noon or 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Now our driver's in that area at 7, 8 a.m. So there's some confusion with that too. But I'd like to look into each one of those just to make sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Now, tell us about Waste Connections. Have you been in Colorado a long time?
Yeah, actually we have. About 15 years. We primarily were doing commercial and roll-off services, and now with these recent acquisitions, we're doing a lot of residential service.
What recent acquisitions?
We purchased Pro Disposal and American Disposal.
Okay, and that's where all the confusion is?
That's correct. Yeah, different service levels, different drivers, different trucks. Now they're all rebranded, but it's been a transition, as you can imagine, acquiring those companies and creating the culture that we have at Waste Connection. So it's been a little challenge, but here in the next 2 or 3 months, it should all be under control.
So okay, well, this is good to know because, I mean, with the calls and stuff we were getting and the hold times, and we were thinking this must be a company in the death throes of basically, going out of business. But you're saying just the opposite. You've acquired businesses and you plan on sticking around. And so is there a place, where should people call? Because if you want to take a look at the specifics, we're talking about the people who have not gotten collected on in 2 weeks or more. Is there a number you can give us privately that you can investigate those?
Sure.
Okay, hold on. That's what we'll do then.
So first.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I just want to make sure you don't give out that number for everyone. If it's something you personally want to look into because it's unusual, that's one number. And then the general number, will people answer eventually?
Yeah. Like I said, last week was extreme. There was people waiting on hold for 20, 30 minutes. Now our average hold time today is 7 minutes.
Okay.
So the email that I gave your assistant is denvercssoup@wasteconnections.com. That comes to 3 or 4 supervisors that can handle any type of escalated or one-off issues that we can get resolved.
Okay, so that's an email for the unusual situations where they've been waiting a couple weeks. It's Denver, and you say CS Soup as in supervisor. So that's Denver.
That's correct.
Denver, Charlie, Sierra, Uniform, Papa. So that's Denver, CSSUP @wasteconnections.com. We'll give that out. Thank you. We have more coming right up.
Weekdays 2 to 4. The Situation.
I don't trust any of them.
They're trashy people.
I think they got themselves overwhelmed, man, when they bought those other 2 companies, because their service level.
Well, getting drivers.
Rocky's Autos or Retrophone?
Drivers
Rocky's Autos at 63rd and Federal for used cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. You'll find a large selection, and it changes every week. So if you've been there, you might want to go again if you didn't find what you're looking for, or go to Rocky'sAutos.com or give them a call at 303-426-4646. Rocky's originates financing there from 40 different lenders. They can certainly find one for you. They've been around for more than 30 years, and it's a place you can depend on. And they have good, clean used cars at great deals. I know these guys, and I've known them for years. They have a solid reputation with few, if ever, complaints. They're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 7, Saturdays, 9 to 6, 63rd and Federal, Rocky'sAutos.com, 303-426-4646, family-friendly, kid-friendly, pet-friendly. And again, they originate loans from 40 different lenders and complete everything on site. 303-426-4646.
Well, no, with tomorrow will bring, you should be prepared for whatever it does bring. That's something I read.
Okay, so it is right. We were right. Good.
It's in the middle of nowhere, though.
That's what you had one by what's that place you said? You could they have a sponsors of us.
We need you to grow when the market is up, protect us when the market crashes, and all the while provide monthly income.
Mark, what did you think of
Cripple Creek?
What did you think of the?
Give us a call and we'll visit.
What did I think of what's your?
What did you think of the guy talking about the annuities?
Oh, I don't know.
Having your retirement prepared for whatever life throws at you creates a.
Did you notice how he said you can't spend more than $1 million because they're afraid you'll waste your money? I thought that was an odd.
No. What he meant was he said their individual risk on one. They can't aggregate the risk.
They were really inconsistent on picking up our dumpsters, both at our plant and also in the field, because they couldn't find.
I mean, you can see that, for example, if they have like several clients at $1 million, that severely shrinks the pool
Drivers want, more money, more benefits.
of individuals.
And I think that's a big part of the deal, which is why they rerouted.
Yeah, so many of them are doing that now. I mean, CDL drivers are in such demand everywhere.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
Time
what does
served.
that mean? He'll get out?
Time served.
He's done that?
I think he's out. Yeah.
Well, I don't know
know
what it
how
means.
instant it
Was
is.
he out before, or was he still in?
No, he was in jail.
Who? How long did he have left?
He was in the big.
He was in the supervisor.
What did they call him for short? There was a nickname. That governor. I mean, that
Blagojevich.
Blagojevich. Jesus.
Bogo?
I thought they called him Logo.
Blagojevich. I thought he had a nickname of some kind.
I think
Blago.
Bogo
Wasn't it
was
Blago?
Yeah,
I think it was Blago.
Maybe it was Blago. Maybe you're right, Tom.
All right, here. Let's look at this one.
Former governor. He was a governor.
Yeah, of Illinois. That's what he got penitentiary for. He was trying to sell Obama's Senate seat.
Is that wrong?
In some states, I guess.
Not in Chicago.
Not in Texas.
Yeah, Chicago. Hey, they're doing that. They used to do that all the time.
Texas, this kind
You know,
of
they're all big. If you think about it, they're all big money people. They're all fucking politicians. They're big. There's no common man who's,
No.
What about somebody on death row? Huh? What?
It's a good time to engage in white-collar crime.
Yeah.
Do you see the one guy from New York and stuff? He had 129 convictions, but now he just gets let out because New York, they don't have to put up bail anymore.
Yeah.
They just do it under recognizance, whatever.
Personal cognizance.
Oh yeah, the guy came out and said I've been arrested 125 times.
He's been 8 years in prison. Holy shit.
Who's that? Blagojevich?
Yeah.
Is that down here in
Supermax, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Retrofoam is environmentally friendly, no off-gassing, and can even make your home
He was saying Max isn't so super.
He's been serving a 14-year sentence.
Yeah, they nailed him pretty good. But.
Nothing to lose. Call Rocky Mountain Retrofoam now. 720-676.
Trump goes on clemency spree.
He appeared on The Apprentice.
Yeah, that's how his association is with Trump. He was on Celebrity Apprentice.
Sponsored by Publishers Clearinghouse.
That was
So Blagojevich, DeBartolo, Milliken.
Tonight down to 16. Tomorrow's high 29 with more snow.
It's amazing how much power a president has for this shit.
Time's running out to
Ariel
win $5,000 a week
Fiedler,
forever from Publishers Clearinghouse. You could win $5,000 a week for your life. Plus, after that, $5,000 a week for life for someone you choose. Enter at PCH.com now. It can use in 25. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited.
Since 1990.
He's been in jail since 90?
I think so.
No, not since 90. No way.
Milliken? Michael Milliken?
Oh, I thought you were talking about what's his face.
He's 8 years.
No, Blagojevich, no. The other guy he pardoned.
Milliken's been around, but he went away for a long time. Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK. Bonnie Shields is an attorney at law who does divorce law and family law and mediation. Bonnie, if your wife abandons you, if she's like a drunk basically, and she leaves the house and comes back a few years later and wants her share of marital equity, I mean, it doesn't stop when she leaves if she's still married to the guy, right? I mean,
it doesn't. Although remember, there's no 50-50 rule in Colorado. It's whatever the court deems as fair and equitable.
So if he has kids, let's put it this way. If he has kids and she leaves and now she comes back and wants half, but he has the kids, could they consider the kids in this estate settlement?
The kids wouldn't be considered in the settlement per se.
Okay.
But certainly the fact that she left him and he's been paying up the mortgage and he's been paying up the household expenses and all that for all those years, I doubt if she'd walk in and take her 50-50 away.
Now, what about in a bankruptcy? She may have to go bankrupt, or she is, Scott, did you say?
Yeah, she says she's going to file, and she knows that that'll then put the property into the estate that the trustee will get control, and therefore force the sale of the home, and that's what she's trying to do now.
See, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure that a bankruptcy trustee can force the sale of a house with a spouse in it. I don't know. Do you know, Bonnie?
I don't know for sure, but I tend to believe I think what you do, Tom. I don't think so.
I mean, if it depends on how it's owned. If it's an undivided interest, I'm not sure they can disrupt the other spouse just because they owe money. I'm not sure. We really need to check on that. But in any case, what does he do to protect himself? He said he filed for divorce, but she didn't participate. What happens if the other spouse won't participate at all? They won't answer the divorce. They won't come to court. They won't appear. What do you do if you want to get rid of them?
Well, you go to the final hearing, and the court can make orders whether they're participating or not. Was she ever served? That's an important one. If she wasn't served, you have to serve them by publication.
I think he lost interest. So, Scott, you never went through with it, right?
I did, Tom. I did get her served, and I followed it through fairly amount, but I did lose interest because I had what I wanted. I had the kids, and I had the house, and I figured it was only going to potentially harm me, so why change the situation now? And I also believe that, child support would be accruing during all of this time, which would be a subtraction, in the divorce settlement.
Was it ever ordered, child support?
Well, it is where she did the same thing with child support and avoided that. And I finally got it ordered this past December, and I have a judgment against her, and I am garnishing her wages. But that judgment started in December, and now I have another motion in court to go back to capture from July 17, 2017 through December 2019.
Can you get, Bonnie, retroactive child support if there was never an order?
You can, but only to the date he filed this case. I doubt if this case was filed in 17. Was the case filed in 17?
Well, the divorce was, but then it went away. The divorce went away. He never pursued it.
So I'm confused. Is there an active case right now or not?
As far as a divorce, no. As far as child support, yes.
Actually, the divorce.
What?
I filed for divorce again right now, because now I believe that the equity that she has minus the child support means she won't get anything, or if she wants half the house, she certainly has to go back and pay half of the mortgage payments during all this time, right? You can't get half the profit if you didn't pay half the investment.
That's all a maybe, but a judge has to actually rule that. Scott, what you need, do you have an attorney?
I can't afford one, Tom. I had to literally quit my kids were all alone. I quit my career. I had a 30-year career, but I traveled all the time, and I had to be home with my kids. So I've changed careers now and become an insurance agent, but I'm not making, great money right now. And I've just been, I don't have any money. I've been doing all this on my own, listening to you, quite honestly.
Well, listen, man, you got to do something to protect yourself against her future bankruptcy.
I do.
Yeah,
I have a divorce now. I filed for divorce I did file for divorce Wednesday, hoping that that will have jurisdiction over the home before she files for divorce, and that, you know, a trustee is not going to touch that because it's in a divorce proceeding already.
Well, I tend to agree that it's going to be hard for bankruptcy court to come in and tell a spouse who's been making payments and who has nothing to do with the bankruptcy to tell a spouse, you got to get out of the house, we're selling it. I don't think that's going to happen. But I mean, I don't know. We need to check with a bankruptcy attorney. But what you need to do, Scott, is you need to go through with this divorce this time. You actually have to go through. Is she participating? Did she answer it?
Yes, I think that she will participate now because she's been living with this guy, a criminal ex-con, for a year and a half.
Oh yeah, so he's going to want what she's got coming.
Exactly. He wants his half too now. So now they're going to participate, I believe.
Yeah, but you need to represent yourself, Scott. You say you can't afford to. You can't afford not to. You have to get an attorney, at least consult an attorney, because I'm telling you, you need to represent your interests. Like somebody like Bonnie or somebody to fight for you, what they're going to go after is some equity. You know, to make sure that she doesn't just get half. You have to bring up to the judge the fact that you've been paying all the bills. That's not automatically considered by a judge. It has to be brought up, right, Bonnie?
It does. I have a question, though. What county is your case in?
El Paso County in Colorado Springs.
Okay. You should call down to the clerk's office and ask, because I don't know on El Paso. Some of the courthouses, like Douglas, for instance, has a program where there are certain days of the month you can go in and there are attorneys you can talk to. So you need to ask them about, it's called a pro se, which means representing yourself, if they have a pro se resource center. And because it's usually, if they have one, it's usually the attorneys volunteer to go and spend time there. They're not going to represent you, but they can point you to the right forms, maybe give you some advice. So find out what kind of facilities they have there for a pro se resource center. If they have anything available to you, you can do that. You can hire, whether it's me or somebody else, you can hire somebody just to go chat with for an hour to put you on the right track.
Right, exactly.
So you don't have to throw out, you know, a retainer of $4,000 or $5,000 to somebody because you don't have that kind of money. But if you can hire somebody for an hour, or if there's a pro se resource
at least
center,
go get information, as she said, either from a pro se center or hire an attorney for an hour. Scott, you're going to need the help. Now, we will check with a bankruptcy attorney on what happens with a jointly owned home in a bankruptcy if one spouse left home and racked up bills on her own. 303-713-TALK.
This is Denver's Talk Station with Tom Martino now. Dan Kaplis today at 4, 6:30.
Hey, Chan, this is that RJ.
Yeah.
That's his email there. I don't have
All
his
right,
phone
thank
number.
you. I'll email him.
So he says Mikey said he owes $650 for the car.
Okay, I'll call everybody back.
Back there, I didn't want to know. The rest of the highway drive around the metro area is in pretty good shape with no other major problems. But west of town, expect periodic closures of I-70 in both directions near Idaho Springs for rockfall mitigation work. Your forecast for today, a mix of clouds and sun this afternoon. Temperatures dropping into the upper teens overnight tonight. Mostly cloudy tomorrow for your Wednesday with some light afternoon snow showers and a high in the upper 20s. It's 36 right now in Denver. With your impact traffic and weather, I'm Janine LaRose, 630 KHOW.
Time's running out to win $5,000 a week forever from Publishers Clearinghouse. You could win $5,000 a week for your life. Plus, after that, $5,000 a week for life for someone you choose. Enter at PCH.com now. Entrance fee to 25. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. If one of your resolutions for 2020 was to take control of your financial future, pay attention.
So, Mark, you answered your question before about there's a lady that I know who has a place right on, like, the outskirts of Innsbruck.
Oh, okay.
It's right kind of in the area.
Where's that?
Innsbruck. It's Missouri. It's about an hour and a half east of, west of St. Louis.
What kind of weather is that there? I mean,
Missouri.
No,
Hot, humid.
What is that? A resort area?
It's got a bunch of lakes and stuff, so people want to live on the water, have a vacation home on the water. That place. Some of the homes are really nice. Some of them are just like places people go for the weekend.
They got a lot of wind there.
I'm sure at times they do, and they have some pretty tough winters too. I'm sure.
God, I hate wind.
Dozens of people being held in Nebraska for the coronavirus.
Is that where they took them?
Oh yeah.
Cruise ship.
Yeah, so at Air Force Base.
There was 454 people, I think, that had coronavirus on that cruise
Why
ship.
did they move to Nebraska? What's in Nebraska?
Must be an Air Force Base they're holding them at.
Yeah.
Fuck, that's just terrible. Did you hear that one of the researchers died in China? One of the doctors?
China, yeah. There've been a couple of them that died.
He was a main guy,
I think the whistleblower died.
The whistleblower died.
That's serious
and
shit,
and the president of the hospital in Wuhan died.
So it's that serious, this virus, huh? God almighty.
Again, it's mostly the care and don't they get pneumonia and that's what they die from is pneumonia?
Yeah. I don't know much about it. It's pneumonia.
That is terrible.
The thing that scares me is it's killing 33-year-old healthy adults.
Oh, is it now?
Yeah.
It's still less than a 2% mortality rate, though.
Yeah, but still.
That's pretty. I mean, I'm not saying that ain't high, but.
But why is it killing a 33-year-old adult?
I don't know. That's what I was reading today.
Because they don't know they have it.
Yeah. By the time they've got it, it's eat their lungs up. You can't recover from the pneumonia.
Smokers.
Could be.
But you know what? We should allow smoking. In fact, we should actually encourage people to smoke cigarettes.
What the hell, though, are they doing to stop the spread?
Stop?
I don't think they're doing
Why?
anything.
The masks that people are wearing are not the answer.
To encourage people to eat bats.
At least they feel like they're doing something.
We should.
I don't understand why anybody would go to that part of the world right now.
I agree.
Oh God, you couldn't pay me enough to go to Asia right now.
The Orient?
The Orient, yeah.
What's the matter with the Orient?
Are you Indiana Jones?
The express train is not a good train.
Okay, this says 60. Is this short? Okay.
Okay. Maybe New Orleans is the place for me. Then I can do the shoe joke. I can compete with the best of them. Well, do I look like you? Huh? Do I look like an old grumpy dude? Huh?
Frank Duran, therealestateman.com. Frank is the one we call when we want to list a property to sell or if we're looking to buy a property. No one has more market knowledge or experience when it comes to negotiating price, whether it's on the buying side or the selling side. If you're listing a home, he'll never hold you to a long-term contract because he knows he has to earn your business and you have to want him. And you know what? That's the way it should be. And no one ever cancels with Frank because, unless they just change their mind about selling, because they love doing business with Frank. You will too. Frank Duran, therealestateman.com, 303-920-1622.
Look at that thing, 400 grand. Can you get over these fucking prices? It's fucking like, it's just insane.
Just remember, you got to air condition that thing.
Hi, Tom Martino here, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. All right, so we have the Home and Garden Show starting when? In a couple days, Ted?
This Saturday.
And you'll be there.
22nd. Yeah, we will be there.
What are you going to be showing?
We're going to be showing all of our products, windows.
Well, yeah, but specifically this hail-proof stuff?
We'll be showing the hail-proof siding, the
Euro you mean hail-proof roof, right?
Yeah.
But isn't Everlast pretty much hail-proof?
It's
Everlast siding.
It's resistant.
That stuff is incredible. I can't. I mean, obviously you can chip it if you hit it hard enough. But it's pretty damn durable.
For the normal siding or the normal hailstorms we have around here, it probably is going to be, plenty good, plenty strong for that.
Have people caught on to Everlast siding?
They're starting to. We're getting more and more name recognition on it.
My
We're promoting
opinion,
it quite a bit.
my opinion is it's way better than James Hardy.
Oh yeah.
I mean, way better.
Yeah.
Because James Hardy basically is only as good as the surface. If that surface is damaged, can it take on moisture or not?
It can take on moisture. I mean, when you install it, you've got to raise it up off the ground by 3 or 4 inches.
And Everlast, I mean, really Everlast, if you chip it or peel it or something, I mean, it doesn't take on water. It won't absorb anything.
It absolutely will not take on any water. So
it's tight. It's sealed. The color's through and through.
The color is the whole thing. Yeah, it's a great product.
Can you get it to look like? I know it has wood textures. Does it have any smooth textures?
No, we don't have smooth textures on that.
And what colors? Do you have pastels or only natural earth tones? Do you know? I'm just curious.
I'm going to defer on that.
So they ended up adding a bunch of new different colors, like dark grays, dark blues, things like that. But then they also have those, natural sandstone.
Of course.
But then they ended up just adding those darker ones just recently. So that's new to 2020.
Like blue.
Like a very dark navy blue, dark grays.
Yeah.
Just kind of colors that are trending right now.
Now, another thing I just wanted to ask you very quickly. Entry doors.
Yes.
Are they pre-colored or do they get painted? Can you buy them colored or from the factory?
Yeah, they're painted from the factory.
They are.
So, yeah,
Oh, that's
absolutely.
way good.
Yeah.
Because is red popular?
Red is popular.
Yeah, why? We were talking about that the other day. Why are red entry doors popular?
It's just, that's
I don't know.
what's in right now.
I see more and more red entry doors.
Yeah.
So they're like powder coated, right?
Yes.
So that's a really durable finish.
Yeah, and the Provia product's an excellent product again. So we are proud to.
No, they're great, and they're 30% off, right?
Yes.
And an extra 10% if you go to the home show.
Right. Or the extra 10% if they mention you.
Okay, good. So mention me. You don't even have to go to the. Well, I mean, not that you don't want to go to the home show, but if you call them and mention me, you'll get 40% off. 303-421-7100. And you have 18-month financing, right? Interest-free if they pay it all within that 18 months. Okay. Susan, what's happening? Susan.
Hi, Tom.
Hey, what's going on?
All right. There's a show on Amazon Prime that's running that my sister actually produced in California.
Really?
We want to know how they got it and how we find out who's making money off it.
Okay. Now, let me
gave permission.
Let me get this straight. Your sister produced the show?
Yeah. They ran the whole thing.
And is it a fictional show or is it a nonfiction? Is it a documentary? What is it?
It's similar to PD Live. It's in the fire department somewhere in California.
I'm really having a hard time hearing you. You're cutting out.
You said it's similar to PD Live, like Police Department Live, but it's the fire department.
Right. And when you say she produced it, did she sell it to Amazon?
No.
No.
They ran it on local they ran it on the local TV stations in California.
And what did you want to know about it?
How do we find out? Because they don't have permission to run it.
You're telling me that Amazon Prime is selling this or running this show without permission?
Yes. We don't know who they got it from.
Well, does your sister own the rights?
Yeah.
Well, she produced it. Who shot it and edited it? Did she have her own crew?
Yes.
And so it was her product.
Right.
And
she sold it to the local TV station.
When you say she sold it to the local TV stations, why did they run it? I've never heard of a local TV station buying a show. What station specifically bought it?
I don't think they bought it. I think she got sponsors, and she paid for it.
Okay. And is it a reality type show?
Yes.
Is it currently in production, or is it a set number of episodes?
It was a set number of episodes. It's not in production at the moment.
Okay. How many episodes?
That I don't know offhand.
What's the name? What's the name of the show?
On Duty.
On Duty. That's odd that there would be a show being run and your sister never gave permission. That's crazy.
No, She found it by somebody posted it on Facebook.
Honest to goodness, that's crazy. I'm looking at my Amazon Prime right now, and I'm going to search it. And it's called On Duty. And okay, this is weird. Like, where do you call? And how does Prime get shows? I have no idea.
You know, he said she sold it at one point, though. Maybe they resold it.
No, she didn't. No, she sold spots, advertising, and she ran it on local TV, is what she meant. Okay, so I'm looking for it. I'm searching it. For some reason, the internet is slow. Do you find it, Dan? On Duty.
I see the box set.
I see On Duty, but it's the Santa Barbara Fire Department, right?
Right.
And it's directed by Linda Distenfield.
Yeah.
Distenfield.
Yeah.
That's not your sister, is it?
Yes, it is.
No crap. It's on here for sure. And it's got 4 stars. What's that? They're selling it. I mean, and your sister has no idea.
No.
Okay, we got to look into this then. We have an intellectual property attorney. It might be late to get him on, but we can start somewhere. Obviously, she never gave these rights to anyone.
No.
And would you be able to give us your sister's number? We can talk to her directly.
Yes.
Good. Hold on. No, that's crazy. What the heck's going on? This show, On Duty, on Amazon, supposedly they're running it with no knowledge of the producer or director, who's one and the same. Bob says he knows the history of a red door. Why is there a red front door, Bob?
Well, from what I heard, it's German, means welcome, and in German it's willkommen.
But what does that have to do with the color red on the door?
Yeah, I don't know, but that you're welcome into the house.
Oh, it's a German tradition, a red door.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, we'll find that out. That was just an interesting question because I asked K&H Home Solutions if they get a lot of red sales, and they said yes, red is very popular. And by the way, their booth at the Colorado Garden and Home Show is 313 and 1275. Are they close to each other?
No, they're on kind of opposite sides of the show.
Why do you have 2 booths?
Cover people. Some people
really?
go in and turn right.
So
some
2
people
booths.
go in and turn left.
Are they both the same size?
No, the 313 is the larger booth. The other one is a smaller booth.
Okay, but they both have similar products?
They have not all the same products, but smaller displays.
313 and 1275 for K&H at the Colorado Garden and Home Show.
Now, Impact Traffic.
Sponsored by Publishers Clearinghouse.
This says the red doors that were safe homes on the Underground Railroad during the Civil War.
What were the red doors?
Red doors meant that.
That's curious.
You have it. Google. Is Google live?
God, they have 2 seasons they're streaming on this son of a bitch.
99 cents an episode or something.
It's hard to figure the cheap.
Well, I get it free on Prime.
Yeah, me too.
It's free, but... This is weird.
Okay, somebody sold it to him.
I mean, they wouldn't be that stupid. But think about it, though.
Maybe this is how he made that $10 billion he's given to for global warming. Did you see that?
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Bezos is given $10 billion for the world.
And it's not even like real.
What do you mean?
It's not even like
they're just giving free Amazon Prime.
It doesn't go anything. It doesn't say what it goes to.
They're gonna build trees. They're gonna build them, not plant them. They're gonna build the trees.
It's a good way to do it. New Orleans, here it is. No, I'm just looking for airports that are near there.
You don't want it.
Where's this place?
You should see this fucking place.
Oh, of course, they're all.
Oh, shut up, Dan. God,
What are
you're
you
such a
talking about?
naysayer.
What are you talking about?
Show them place. Ted wants to see your place.
Check this out, dude.
Ted wants to see your new place.
Check this fucking thing out. Look at this fucking boat dock.
220,000.
Look at this.
Really?
It is not.
Look at the boat docks right on the canal. It's
How
got
much is
3 slips, 2 lifts.
How much is it?
This is 5.99.
And where in
Huh. Remember we were finding all those places in Cleveland?
Look at
Remember we were
this.
looking
Yeah.
back a couple of years ago? I know.
Have you ever seen a garage like that? I find that so odd.
I would want good weather year round at
Why
my
do you think it
place.
has to go through like that?
I don't know what's on the other side.
They're not
It's
charging
got
me
an
99
RV. It's
cents.
got a 50-foot RV.
They're not
in.
charging me 99 cents an episode.
No, it's because you have.
I like this.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Where is it?
This is.
High maintenance.
This is fabulous waterfront home on the Diversion Canal. It's in Saint Amit.
It says scrape your own oil off the lake.
What lake is it near?
Saint what?
The canal goes to
Saint Arnett.
Armet. No, Amet.
There's so much oil in the lake you can run your boat on it.
Huh.
So what city's it closer? Is it by?
Here's the big boy right here. And look, you could actually, if you wanted to, yeah, you can take it right to the ocean. Boy, that'd be a long journey, wouldn't it? Is that the Gulf? Let me see where we're at. Yeah. Yeah, look at that. But you're in enough to where, I wonder how long it would take that long.
Be a long day.
It'd be a long, long day, wouldn't it? You wouldn't go back, you'd just go out.
Guaranteed hurricane hits only once every 3 years.
I like that. What a beautiful place.
Pretty much sea level. So.
Look at that outside. Look at that. It's beautiful.
Buy it. What are you going down?
Well, I'm looking for the fucking airport near it. It's actually pretty cheap to get there, but...
It's New Orleans then.
Well, I don't know how far it is from New Orleans.
I'll skip and jump.
That's the problem it's going to be. The closest airport... Wait, is Louis Armstrong? Is that...
That's New Orleans, I think.
That is New Orleans. So let's see how far it is. So, you're not allowed to come to it.
Give you the down payment?
I don't care about a down payment. Okay, so let's see. Okay, to, what is it, New Orleans?
Yeah.
New Orleans. Watch, it's going to be like 5 hours.
Oh, but it's not 5 hours.
1 hour, that ain't bad.
No, that's not bad at all.
To New Orleans Airport.
Is that Lake Ponch? That big lake's Pontchartrain, I think, because you got the bridge going across it.
41 minutes.
To where?
So this must be like.
That ain't bad at all. You can fly in for $100, and you're
Is
at your
this in
place.
Alabama?
No, it's in
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
So this has got to be Lake Pontchartrain.
Let's go back to.
God, Louisiana's
So
dreadful.
here it is. Here's where it's
So goddamn
actually
hot, you
on.
can't breathe there.
Waterway.
That's the whatever you call it.
That's good for your skin.
Okay, so here's Lake whatever. Lake. Jeez, I don't know, man.
The other one's got to be Pontchartrain because it's got that bridge going across.
This is Pontchartrain. That's a bridge?
Yeah.
Holy shit, how long's that?
Like 25 miles.
Oh my god, that's a bridge.
I've been across that.
How long do you think it is?
Is it
Okay.
longer than Key West?
Alright, so that's
I
probably...
think that's the longest bridge across a lake that's not suspended.
So look,
It's not suspended.
so from here
It's not suspended, meaning
to here,
it goes down.
that's got to be 30 miles then. So you're 30 miles to get to this big ass lake. How long's 30 miles take on my new speedboat? Yeah, it's true.
Do you know where there's some
I love
beautiful,
Fuller
beautiful,
setup.
beautiful
Is it-
places?
he's got one
You know
five
what's
there
really
or
beautiful? Some of the islands,
Yeah.
like
I
up
can't
in the
to be there
northwest.
only a couple
Caribbean or
months out of the year.
oh, up in Seattle.
Hi, Tom Martino
Oh, she
here,
does.
303-713-TALK.
Maybe I could live there.
I want to talk to Gigi Wink again from Wink and Wink. We talked to her yesterday about bankruptcy issues because something came up. Gigi, if a married couple owns a house together, the wife takes off, she's a drunk, she gets in trouble, she starts charging up her own credit cards, and she wants to do a bankruptcy. Will a trustee go to a husband with kids in a home where they own this jointly, that undivided interest, so it's not like they each own half? It's a marital property. Can a trustee make this guy sell his house because his wife got in trouble?
Yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. It's her property, so she has to disclose it. If it's not protected, then yes, it's fair game for the trustee in her bankruptcy for her creditors.
But only her part? Only her part.
It's complicated, but, she may not even be entitled to an exemption if she's not living there. However, the statute does say if her dependents are living there, then she's likely to be able to take that $75,000 homestead exemption. The homestead exemption applies to the house itself. So then she would be entitled to half of the equity. And if she got the exemption, you'd take that off of the equity.
Would you take half of the half of the exemption off?
So no, the whole exemption. It starts with the house itself. So let's say the house has, $100,000 of equity. The exemption, as long as she's entitled to it, which it sounds like if those are her dependent children, she would be. Then, so $75,000 comes off the $100,000 equity. The $25,000 that's left over is half hers and half his, and the trustee's entitled to her half.
Okay, but the trustee can't take his half.
Well, they can force a sale and give him his half.
Right.
Right? If he can't come up with the money to pay off the trustee and make it go away, then they're going to force a sale.
So, Scott, you have really how much equity?
What's that?
How much equity do you have?
I think it's about 120.
So if you have 120, and really, who says 120? She thinks it's 200. Why is there such a disparity?
She's going off Zillow.
Well, Zillow's not terrible.
Okay.
I mean, so let's say it's 150 minus 75. There's still a lot of money. They're going to force a sale.
They probably are. If you can't come up with, $25,000. Now, what about getting a divorce and having the property divided in a divorce, and you get the house and have to pay her some money, and then it's your house and not hers anymore?
Yeah. So if he does that in a divorce, the house would have to be awarded to him in a divorce. A trustee can't say, no, you're not allowed to do that, divorce court?
Well, only if it's a fraudulent divorce. So as long as it's signed off on by a court and it's a fair and equitable distribution of the property.
They didn't do it on purpose to cheat the court.
Right. But then you still need to get the transfer, the quitclaim deed, and all of that done, prior to filing a bankruptcy. That's going to be a long runway before she's going to be able to file a bankruptcy.
Yeah, it sounds dreadful, Scott. I hope we gave you some information. We're simply out of time. Okay, so K&H Home Solutions. You can make your own appointment at home at khwindows.com. Make your own appointment. 30% off. Mention me. Get an extra 10. That's 40% off. That's khwindows.com. Remember, folks, save all your problems for me. When you get life insurance, most people just let it sit there. If you get this special life insurance called Become the Bank